What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Boys in the Apple podcast. Our leader is not here yet, but I will be taking the reins for now. I already see Jacob in the chat. What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Monday show, the Boys in the Apple podcast, episode 103, here at 8:13 p.m. here on the East Coast. It is slowly turning into football season as we've had the Hall of Fame game this past week, and we'll be seeing more preseason action this upcoming week and weekend. If you guys haven't already, 2-month free trial for the Discord. Alex has all the info inside. It's a lot of fun. Please join. Getting a lot of comments already. What's up to Sunil and what's up to Brad? If you guys haven't already, turn on the post notifications if you haven't already. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Help support our channel. We guys, we're 40 away from 1.5K subs. Baseball's also on our minds as well. A lot of things to talk about. John, your first thoughts.
Well, it was definitely quite the weekend. First off, thanks to anyone who joined us last Thursday for that Hall of Fame game between the Jets and the Browns. That was actually pretty fun. It was really exciting to see football back. Obviously, for us Jets fans, we got the Hard Knocks coming up, debuting tomorrow at 10 o'clock. For all the HBO people, and you could stream it on like the HBO Max, and I'm sure there's other stuff too. But again, thanks for all joining that. And tonight, we have some embarrassing baseball to talk about.
Tell me about it.
Because the Mets and Yankees are both awful in their own way, and it's like who could be more worse. And then I do want to make the announcement that for any members and anyone who wants to become a member, I will be doing, instead of some series recaps, I will actually be giving out some player rankings for this year. So you can hear my opinion on that for the next month. And then when football season comes, we'll get into more football videos for the membership. So if you do want to become a member, you can. And for all those who are already members, guys are in for a treat. So, Luca, you want to start it off?
Yes, definitely. I just want to say one more thing when it comes to the housekeeping stuff. John obviously brought up the great idea of the player rankings. Obviously, baseball in New York is not going so well right now. Both teams are sputtering. The Mets are probably openly tanking. The Yankees are just a pitiful disaster. So we don't want to bore you guys in terms of the content. Keep doing the series recaps when nobody's actually, I'm not going to say nobody's actually going to watch, but, it's not such a good listen when you hear how bad the Yankees and Mets are. We don't want to be repetitive. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it. Get the likes up and become a member. Absolutely. Obviously, we mentioned the Discord, but also a new addition to the Boys in the Big Apple podcast, not only for this Boys in the Big Apple podcast, but the Big Blue in the Bronx channel, is the Big Blue in the Bronx soundboard. So I thought before our first Immaculate Grid, when we'll do baseball and football mainly, we would go through each track. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 tracks on this one. We'll go quickly by each one. I'm just going to put it up on the iPad, as it's very useful. The first one, obviously, we have the photo right here of Joe Girardi. And what's his phrase, John? He says, hold on, let me pull it up.
It's not what you want.
No, it's not what you want. I'm just going to pull up the photo real quick. Pulling up, scrolling. It's not what you want, and here's the audio. John, you heard that, right?
We didn't. We heard it very lowly.
All right, I'm going to try to put it up.
Come on.
A little better that time?
It's still low. We're gonna have to tweak this.
Yeah, we're going to have to. It's, I think, just the general, the quote of it's not what you want. But anyways, next, when we ever hear, you guys can hear it too, whenever a helicopter, a motorcycle, or an ambulance passes by John's house, we're just in general going to play the chopper sound. Next one, when I think we can apply this to our Immaculate Grids when we get an answer wrong or when Brian's wrong when he comes on the podcast. The Family Feud strike.
Ooh.
If you haven't watched Family Feud. And next one, I guess we can apply this to when a team makes a bad error or some bad circumstance happens while we're doing a live stream or whatever. Let's play it.
To anyone who doesn't know, that's from the show Curb Your Enthusiasm. For any Larry David fans there.
Yes, it is very much so from the show Curb Your Enthusiasm. What's going on, Crossface right here? What up, guys? How we doing tonight? Doing good, man. We're just going through the sounds of our new soundboard. That sounded like my toilet bowl digitally flushing. I think he was talking about either the strike or the chopper. I think it might have been the Family Feud strike.
Probably.
Next one is the JETS chant, which we will have.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, sorry about that. I forgot to tell you guys. Alex messed up the name on this one. So actually, if you guys have watched Family Guy's hilarious, by the way. Obviously, check it out. This is when Brian is absolutely taunted by the rest of the family, and that's what we're going to use when Brian comes on our channel.
Hi, everybody. Brian's the new Meg. Brian's the new Meg. Brian's the new Meg.
If you guys have watched The Office, this sounds familiar.
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm going to kill myself, and it's your fault.
If you guys know Aaron Boone, let me put up the mic here. You'll know this quote.
We're really close to turning the corner.
Did you hear that, John?
I heard it low, but we're really close to turning the corner.
Yes, we just got to spice up the audio on that one too.
Mhm.
Next is for other, I guess we could call it errors on the show. John had this idea, the boxing bell for whenever me and Alex decide to argue on the channel.
Ding, ding. That's right.
Next one is when we do a Yankee stream and the opponent strikes out, obviously commonly heard at Yankee Stadium. Another Aaron Boone classic quote.
We're really close.
We're really close, if you guys didn't hear that one. Next up, we got some Gordon Ramsay clips, which is me and John's favorite.
By the way,
You
by the
fucking
way,
dog.
that show is also coming out tomorrow. I cannot wait for the return.
Kitchen Nightmares, I think, is returning next month. Or are you talking about Hell's
it was
Kitchen?
August. Did I?
No, September.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's going to
really
be.
thought it was August. God damn it. All right, I can wait another month. It's fine.
All right, so that was You Donkey. Next one this is from Kitchen Nightmares, actually a recent episode I watched recently. Not from, like, obviously this year. It's not returning yet. But in terms of the past episodes. Another You Donkey.
You fucking donkey.
Next one.
Fuck off.
And this one's a special one, I gotta tell you. This is the last one, I promise.
You're a first-class cunt.
We got all the soundboards, people, so we'll bring this up right here. Let me just change the formatting real quick, and then we'll start our first warm-up exercise, the Immaculate Grid. I'll just leave like that for now. But anyways, John, I'll let you have the first guess, and we'll do some brainstorming along the way. Guys, feature your comments in the chat.
Okay. Let's think. Cardinals World Series. Let's think.
Again, you could think of the Cardinals 1982, 2006, and 2011.
I got a guy that I'm pretty sure won a World Series
Okay.
who was kind of like a bench backup player. Skip Schumacher.
2011. I also could think of, you know what? That'll go for the Angels. My guess will go for the Angels and Cardinals. So you said Skip Schumacher.
Mm-hmm.
0.9.
Hey, all right.
All right. Feeble and brainstorming don't go in the same sense. Well, I guess that's a shot at you, John.
Brainstorming. I have a big brain, Brad. Thank you very much. I appreciate your concern.
Yes, as I'm going to answer for Angels and Cardinals. That is not Albert Pujols, but Scott Spezio, who was on the 2006 World Series team for the Cardinals. 1%.
All
So
right.
left in this row or column, whatever you call it, is the Cubs.
I got another one.
Okay.
Cardinals, Cubs, John Jay. John Jay,
Good
I know,
one.
played for both. John Jay.
1%. So right now, if you do the math, we're about 2.9% with 3 guesses in.
We are friggin' tearing it up. We got to get a soundbite for when we're on fire. Oh, hold on. Ladies and
I would
gents.
just like to say, first of all, what's up, everybody? Second of all, and is that like me coming in? Is that like my entrance?
That's being late.
Oh,
That's you.
want
First
some-
of all, you no. This is how we're gonna start the show, everybody. First, and then he walks away as I'm trying to fucking scold him. So number one, right? Numero uno. What's up, everybody in the chat? Number two, hi John. Number three, as I was setting up my stuff, I heard Luca rip into me and say, "Well, he didn't name it correctly as far as the Meg and the Jet stuff." Well, guess what? Who did 95% of the work?
Oh, you know what?
Who
This
created
sounds
the
like
app for the
myself. Here we
soundboard?
go. Here we go. Round one. Let's go. Take it away.
Who created the app for the soundboard? Right. Who has the tablet? Me. But anyways, Alex, do you have any house cleaning stuff to cover before we get back into the grid?
Okay, so first of all, if you haven't already, and I want to explain the process too.
The process.
Don't switch. Yes, trust the process because this is a good process. If you guys haven't already, and I know we have some people in the chat who already did, come and join our Discord. For people who are not members of the channel, you get a 2-month free trial. That's at least what our team has arranged. And in that time period, you get to become a member, be gifted a membership. And if you're not a member by the 2-month period, you will be kicked out or temporarily suspended from the server. That's not us punishing anybody, of course. We're just making a business decision as if trying to get more people to come in and be members. That way we could do giveaways, members only live streams and stuff like that. Tomorrow at 2:45 will be a live episode of the Big Blue in the Bronx podcast, which will preview the Giants-Lions matchup. And at 3:30, we will have on a Lions beat writer who will be live from the facility talking about the joint practice. Wednesday, we're on game season. Me and Luca, that I know of, covering the feeble Yankees, even though that's not really their name. It's the plush Yankees. Thursday, we have the Houston Texans versus the New England Patriots. So that's going to be another preseason game that we do. And then we'll update you guys from there.
John, did something happen?
I thought I don't know if it's raining out or.
You hear a helicopter again?
No, it's thunder.
Well, we can't play the helicopter just yet. But
No, I don't know if there's going to be any helicopters with rain tonight. So, dang.
All right, so moving on to the next column, we'll do Angels Astros. I know Sunil just said Bobby Abreu.
I got one. At least I think he played for the Angels. Gregorio Petit.
I think he did. I think he played with their big league club. Pretty sure he did. So you know what, Alex? I'm not going to look it up to double check. I'm going to bank on you being right. And if you are wrong, you will get the Family Feud wrong button.
All right. We got that.
All right. Is it Gregorio Petit? Yes, it is. 0.02%.
That's pretty good.
What about Tony Kemp for World Series roster and Astros?
He was on the 2017 team?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, if you're wrong, I have to play the Family Feud strike.
What? That's
Alex
bullshit.
Cerruti-
No. Time out. I'm going to rant here. They did the same shit to Mike Fiers today. So apparently a 2017 World Series doesn't count.
Oh, what?
No, that's fuck that.
I'm in agreement with Alex here.
Come
They
on,
really
it's
don't-
still a ring. No, fuck
I don't
that.
know. I don't think that deserves a wrong buzzer. I think we were cheated on that one.
Fuck that.
Let me just say this. He was not on the active roster, but he was on the 40-man when they won the World Series. So, again,
Right, but
I'm a side with Alex here.
That's
We're
so
siding
fucking
with you here. We're siding with you.
No, that's stupid. I literally saw AJ Przinsky tweet out today, Immaculate Grid. I literally put Mike Fiers for World Series.
That's what
and
Frank
he
the
was not
Tank
there.
said as well.
Yeah.
But
fuck off.
that was the
Piece of
wrong
shit.
answer per Immaculate Grid. So now we've unfortunately lost a guest because of this. So we got still Cubs and Astros. We have the World Series champion from the roster.
Ben Zobrist? Actually, no, he didn't play for the Astros. I was thinking World Series roster, but I'm all fucked up.
Angels 300 saves. Houston Street is the one guy I'm thinking of.
Troy Percival.
Arsenal works as well.
Let's see how Houston Street grades out. 8%.
How much?
8.
Okay.
K-Rod also would have been I think a higher percentage guess, but Houston Street's I guess decent enough.
So fucking stupid.
3 out of 4.
I got another closer. This one played for the Cubs, and I know this because he was also a Mets player. Randy Myers.
Randy.
He was in the
Myers.
90s.
Isn't that the guy who gave up the home run to Bernie
Yes.
Williams in the 98 ALCS?
1.0 exactly.
Ooh.
Crossface Ray says, I hate the Astros.
I mean, I really have no reason to hate him. But that's okay, guys. We're going to build in the excuses like yesterday. Harrison Bader, newest one.
All right, we'll get to that. Hold on. We gotta finish off, even though we're gonna lose because of some technicality.
It's fucking bullshit.
Who's a closer that's won a World Series? Or Houston. You know what? I bet we could, if we guessed like one of Houston's pitchers from last year. You think? You think like a Framer Valdez would get a lot of guesses?
Yes.
You think?
In my opinion, it would.
It's 300 saves, though. Oh,
no,
wait, never
the
mind.
Houston
Okay.
World Series.
What about Jason Castro?
I don't think he was on. Was he on last year's team?
He could have been on
No.
one of the teams.
But again, 27. Do they still count 2017?
Okay, he was not. He was not. Trying to
There's
think.
Maldonado. Maldonado.
I think Tyler Clippard counts.
Clipboard.
Wait on that. Because remember, 2017 wasn't a World Series, apparently.
That's
Okay,
right. Last
Nope.
year did. That's why I said.
Tyler Clippard is out of the box.
Crossface Ray says just
Brian McCann?
McCann was. Oh wait. 2017 doesn't count,
I'm
Alex.
sorry.
Come on.
Jacob says Chaz McCormick.
That's a good one. I don't think people would guess him.
This is literally so stupid.
I don't.
This
think
was
people
made
would
up by Yankee fans.
Wait, what?
What are you talking? Well, yeah, clearly it was made up by Yankee fans.
Oh,
No, that
okay.
the fact that this World Series doesn't count.
Jeff Kent?
Kent never. Wait, if you're talking about Cubs, Astros, I think he was a player for both.
Well, I mean, I would just do a guess out there.
Okay, let's see if Alex is right. If he's wrong, we have to play the strike again.
I said I threw him out as just a question mark. Never said it was an actual guess.
Okay, you
This-
still guessed it. You could have
this-
stopped
Me,
me.
you took
This
me
is
up
a
on it.
feeble grid. Fucking feeble.
Ken Giles. Since at this point we might as well have the chat help us out. Ken Giles.
No, he was
Oh, wait.
2017. They're not counting 2017.
This is so stupid.
It's not
This
what
literally
you want.
is.
It's not what you want.
All right, Ken
Can we
Giles.
just
No.
Can we just guess Framber Valdez at this point?
I'm gonna go
It
Chaz
doesn't-
McCormick. I'm gonna take Jacobs.
Or Chaz, like somebody. We already lost.
2%.
Oh God.
In total, count. If we had 2 more guesses, it would have been. Let's do the math. 2.9%, 2.92%, 4.92%, 4.92%. Let me do the math here. 12.92%, 13.92%. We could have achieved a really low score.
Could have.
It's ridiculous.
All right, let's
I'm
move
gonna
to
call. I'm gonna call and complain, just like John was the other time. Remember that?
That's right.
football. We have the Browns, the Titans, the Super Bowl champs, the Bucks, the Raiders, and the Dolphins.
All right.
Shouts to my guy Drew in the chat from Two Giant Goofballs.
So,
Make sure you go subscribe to him. All right, Browns, Bucks. Well, any of these really. Greg
All right.
Robinson. No, I don't think he played.
I got a guy. Former
He's got a
Jet.
guy.
Luka. Come on. Bucks Super Bowl champ. Former Jet.
Keyshawn Johnson.
That's right. Ding ding ding.
Might be a popular guess, but we'll see.
We'll see.
0.9% actually.
Really? Whoa! I didn't. All right. I didn't expect a 0.9.
I'm gonna go Dolphins, Browns, Brian Hartline.
Good guess.
3%.
Okay. Browns Raiders. Trying to think. Carl Nassib?
For Browns Raiders, yeah.
You could also do that for Browns Bucks too. So I'm pretty sure he played with both.
I think I'm going to stick with Browns Raiders because I don't think he. Wait, who did Nassib recently play for? The Bucks, right, or the Raiders?
I think he recently played with the Raiders, and then I think he
All right,
retired.
I'll do the Bucks one then. 6%.
Rebound time. Comeback.
Neil suggests Tony Dorsett. We'll mark that one. Titans, Bucks, Raiders, Browns, Raiders, Titans, and a Raiders Super Bowl champ. We also got Dolphins Super Bowl champ.
Titans, Dolphins, safety, Cortland Finnegan.
Jeez.
I have a funny one for you guys.
3%.
Really?
Who would,
Damn.
now, I'm going to ask, actually,
How did more people guess him than Keyshawn Johnson? What the hell?
That's a good question.
okay,
Whatever.
so I'm just trying to think here. Was Brissett, when was Brissett ever a Dolphins backup?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
I'm
was
just trying
like
to
2
think.
years ago.
Because
I
I'm
think.
pretty sure he was on one of the rosters for the New England Patriots when they won the Super Bowl.
But I think he has to be a Super Bowl with the Dolphins.
So stupid.
But
Alex?
yeah, so
So
we didn't want to get Alex to get it wrong again. He doesn't want the family feud strike for a third time.
What does that constitute? John, are you hearing a sound again?
It's the damn lightning and thunder.
Yeah, I hear thunder outside.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so do I. Browns Raiders.
Did Rashard Higgins ever play for the Raiders?
I don't think so.
Let me guess. There's this one player that you guys will never guess. It's such a random player. You've never even heard of him that I just got to double check he would play with both teams on the active roster.
Browns Raiders.
Okay, so I might be able to pull this off. And that is Montrell Meander.
Don't even know who that is.
Montrell Meander.
Okay,
I'm
it says
trying
he
to
only,
think.
let me see if he played games first of all, because it says only 2020, which is a complete lie. He's only played 4 games in his career, and that was the Browns. So that's a shit. Nope, can't do that. Titans, Raiders.
Damn.
Sunil says Amari Cooper, Raiders, and Browns. I think that's more of an obvious, but it's a good guess regardless, but it's going to be an obvious guess.
I'm
Shit.
trying to think throwback players because the Raiders haven't won anything.
Ray
in a while,
Guy?
but
The punter?
As a Super Bowl champ?
Take a look. That's a guy. That's a guy.
Tony Dorsett's also a name.
One guy I'm thinking Howie Long played on the Raiders.
3-time Super Bowl champion. Ray Guy, that is.
I thought we'd shout this guy. Jets
Oh,
no.
Turbulence, Dan.
What's up, guys?
Man. So,
Ray Guy.
we'll do Ray Guy.
Well,
He's a
unless
punter.
all right.
Three 3%.
See? All
How does that have more than Keyshawn Johnson? That doesn't
Keyshawn-
make any sense.
Yeah, he was their lead receiver. Raiders,
Yeah.
Browns, Titans, Bucks. Did Josh Freeman ever play with the Titans? I don't think he did.
No, I don't think so.
Negative.
I'm gonna see if Cody, one of the Hollister brothers.
You mean
Cody
Darren
Hollister.
McFadden, Crossface Ray? Darren McFadden is not a name I've heard in a while.
Well,
McFadden was
I-
only
I think I
Cowboy
got-
ring.
I think I got one. The
Okay.
he's a broadcaster now. Holy crap. Chris Sims. Bucks Titans.
Okay, let's see.
I'm pretty sure he was a Titan.
All our faith relies in John.
2%.
Oh,
All
got
right.
one.
So it's one more guess for everybody, I think, because I got Ray Guy and Carl Nassib.
I got Brian Hartline in.
Shit. I'm gonna try to like think of something like Browns Raiders type. Shit, Browns Raiders. I feel like that should be. It's not. I'm not going with Amari. I think it's kind of more obvious.
Yeah,
how
Mark-
about Raiders Titans? Randy Moss.
Would that be rare though? Just because
Well,
like
I don't
he's
think people are going to think of him on those teams.
I'm gonna go with Dan's guess.
Let's see, Randy Moss.
20%.
All right.
that's
I think
better
it's
than
the
like
name.
35.
It's the namesake. It's not so much him being with those teams.
I feel like there should be like maybe a DB that
Raiders,
Browns,
and
damn it, man.
crossface Ray
Or
throws
maybe
some
like a
short
backup
balls.
quarterback of some sorts.
Did Bruce Grodkowski ever play for the Browns?
I am not 100% sure.
Says he played with them in 2008.
Game with them though is the question. Is that, or at least play a season with them, like a whole season?
Starter for the Browns in the finale against the Steelers. So,
All right, we'll do
yeah.
Bruce Grodkowski. 2%.
All right. No,
Dolphins,
Dolphins
Super Bowl
and
champ.
Super Bowl champ.
I know Sunil mentioned Bob Greasy.
I know one of their players back in the day. He played in the 70s. I don't know if he wanted Dick Anderson.
Should we roll with your guess, John?
If you guys want to, I'm pretty sure he was like a defensive back. He was a safety.
68 to 77.
Yeah.
All right, I am holding on to the button in case John's wrong, but the answer is
You have no faith?
correct.
You have
Point
no
0.6.
faith? You have no faith, buddy? There's a clutch. There's a clutch up, Luca.
All right. Back to the original format. Let's see. Yeah, so a great Brandon Whedon. That was like one of the guys that I was, as I said, it's got to be some like a backup quarterback. And then I know Brandon Whedon was one of the guesses, but at least I think he played for both teams. Maybe not. But appreciate everyone in the chat
First
for
of
their
all, I want to
guesses.
share one thing real quick.
Okay.
So, got to give me a second here. I'm just going to share my
Second already passed. Try again.
I'd just like to share something because I went to Jets training camp on Saturday. I met I re-met two guys. I met the guy on my right, technically. So, had the pleasure of seeing Mr. Primetime, Kevin Cirkin from Let's Talk Jets Radio. On his left is Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7, which I am wearing a wristband that he gave me. So I very much appreciate that, Brian. Jets Talk 24/7. Guys, check him out. Very good content. And then on my left was Richie from Jets Media. I'm going to find the Jets sticker that he actually got for me. Just give me 1 second.
So Luke is going to get up again and desert us.
No.
So, apparently, Jacob knows who that guy is. NY Jets Media.
Here you go. Here is the Jets Media sticker I got. The second time I met Richie because I met him when I went to go meet Elijah Moore at Staten Island. So just put the Jets Media. There you go. So I just say it's been a pleasure meeting all of them. I've met Primetime several times, Richie the second time, but
Can I ask one question?
No.
yes.
Why are you wearing sandals?
I was
He does that. He does
I
that.
was wearing flip-flops, to be fair.
Yeah, bro. You're going all the way to Jersey.
It's true, but I
Didn't
was
you
kind of
say
in a
you
rush.
walk like a mile in flip flops?
I was kind of in a rush that morning. So do you want me to go through the entire training camp story?
I mean, you don't have to.
Not
but,
like the entire, but the main parts.
Okay, fine. Please tell me no. Well, he didn't wear socks then.
No.
So
So I woke up that
That means
morning.
it
I was
smelled in Jersey.
whatever. I woke up that morning at around 6:30 a.m. I planned. This was Saturday, by the way. I planned to get on the 8:11 train. The trains were all screwed up here in Brooklyn because the D train would only run from certain spots in Brooklyn and only certain spots in Manhattan to the Bronx. So it was no good for me. I had to transfer at a stop in downtown Brooklyn. I got on the R train. I thought I was in time for the 8:11 train to Florham Park. As I ran down the steps to catch the 8:11, the doors shut, and I couldn't go on the train, so I ended up waiting another hour for the 9:11 train. So with that, I waited an hour in the Penn Station, got on, and I rode all the way there. Got about there 10:20, 10:20 something, and then I was walking down the street, Morris 603. And if you guys don't know already, the Convent Station, which the train station I got off of, from the Jets to the Jets facility is a 40-minute walk. So I had a lot of walking to do, and I was also risking me missing some of practice. But luckily, somebody pulled over and was a police officer and drove me the rest of the way to the Jets facility. So,
Oh, look who was in the back of a police car. Oh.
so not only that, I got to as I walked in, Jets. By the way, I think the Jets have done really nice with their facility and trying to be more fan friendly as they've grown up, obviously, with getting Aaron Rodgers, more publicity and all that. So I ended up winning a free NFL Shop gift card. It's only worth $5, but I have a chance to win more money on it. And I got a golf cart ride to my seat, and I watched training camp from there. I was snubbed by Corey Davis for autographs, but I also got to meet the three guys, and that was that. So it was pretty fun at training camp. I also bought 2 tickets for the joint practice next week. And that's my day at Jets training camp. Wasn't that hot though.
Did Taylor come with
No.
you? And Luca's a feeble escaped convict.
I am not an escaped convict. I was not placed in any handcuffs. I'm all good.
A new look. I don't have a new look. I have a new look.
I don't think so.
All right.
I mean,
well, thank you, Brad.
Unless the last time you were on stream you were wearing a hat, but I don't think so.
That's possible. I probably was. I wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, you're also feeble. But anyway, if you guys once again haven't already,
before you turn into Tim Anderson here, watch out.
I'm not getting knocked on my ass. Wait, Chicago's already got a 2-0 lead.
Yes, sir.
That's fucking hilarious. Their shortstop just got knocked on his ass, embarrassed. Everybody's clowning him. He got suspended. But man, the Yankees are losing. What a feeble team.
The Yankees.
All you can do is just sit and laugh. That's unfortunate.
It's true.
That's
It's so true because I'll tell you this. I just read this on Twitter. The Yankees had the bases loaded with nobody out and still did not score in the top of the first. Cease walked 3 batters in a row. I read.
Ouch.
So wait, Cease walked 3 batters in a row, and the Yankees couldn't do squat.
That is correct.
Garrett Cole crossface, and I'm not going to blame Garrett Cole because I know the Yankees won't. I mean, they'll. Well, here's the thing, though, and everybody's going to call me a hateful idiot, but if they win, they're expected to win because they should sweep these bums. But if they don't win, I'm going to rip on them because you're supposed to be sweeping these bums. So Anderson is playing. Did he appeal his suspension? I guess he's appealing it. Is he playing right now?
Well,
yeah, he's at the top of the order.
He got 6 games, so
I guess it's at the end of his appeal.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what he's really. I don't know what he's
helped him
really
out a lot. I'm sorry. I don't care how bad the calls are. This is just my opinion. The Yankees are bad enough to where we could see that they are losing to these teams. Like, I'm not going to say Las Diaz sucks behind the plate. I'm not watching the game. I have completely no interest. But I'm not going to sit here, in my opinion, in my own stance, and blame the umpire. That's just my opinion. Luca, I mean, because apparently Les Diaz messed up a few calls.
I've seen that on Twitter, but blaming the umpires for loser organizations.
But what are we, though?
A loser organization.
See? But how do you not score with the bases loaded and nobody out? Yankee specialty. Oh, yeah, of course. That's That's a special on the Yankees. Oh, by the way, Luca, I know we shared this with John. You want to share out with everybody else what Harrison Bader had to say yesterday, even though we lost?
All right, let's listen to Harrison Bader's comments. He said this Houston series was a big momentum boost for the Yankees going forward, and we did a great job of battling back. And no concern where they are in the standings. If they keep playing their brand of baseball, it's going to be fine because everything's okay in Yankee land.
What a mess. No, like seriously, what a fucking mess. And Garrett Cole just walked Yasmani Grandal. So Alexa. Oh yeah, where's the? Oh wait, you know what? Well, I mean, we have the graphic here. Well, really, the video.
He has become accepting of this garbage.
You gotta find something to Francesa put on this thing.
We have to because it's gonna have to.
We will.
But Luca, are we turning a corner?
Audio's not exactly cleaned up yet, but I'm trying to put up all the way. We are indeed turning a corner.
We're really close to turning the corner.
That was actually
heard that.
Good. Yeah, we heard that. No, it was fine. But no, I mean New York baseball is just a shit show. I mean, we got making excuses. We got losing this game. The Mets just lost every single road game, which I've never seen, at least in my memory. But maybe once again, I wasn't closely honed in on the Mets. So, and then we got Brett Beatty, who basically was taking pitches off. So, and then we got to talk about this Tim Anderson thing because I think that's quite interesting because it's opened up a whole new can of worms in terms of White Sox organization, which doesn't surprise me at all. But I mean, do you think Big G is injured just like Anthony Rizzo? I think Big G is old. I think his legs are worn out. Like seriously, like I think my grandfather can run the bases faster than he can. So that's just my opinion. Yeah, well, I decided to put it on, and plus Luca threw shots at me, so I'm entitled to wear this. Yeah, I mean, I'm just putting it out there, right? You kind of have to put it out there.
They haven't done this since on a 6-game road trip, and they lost every single game.
Just imagine what Frank the Tank.
Can I play something for that?
Sure. That's who they are. And then they have this whole thing when they're one of their top prospects, Beatty. Oh my God! But you know what? we can. You know what? Because I really didn't want to get into this, but we're gonna get into it a little. Here's what I don't understand about the demotion. I understand he's been awful. It's like his outs above average is like -5. Mm-hmm. He's hitting like his average is like below 230 now.
220 at least.
220 at least, and you know he was hitting like in the 160s below that. You know the past month or two, he's been awful. He's been and there's no other way to say it. Am I gonna say he's gonna be a bust? No, give him some more time. Here's what I don't understand. They already admit they're losers. They sold all their players. All of a sudden, did this move help us in win now mode? Did you see the guys they called up?
Abraham Almonte.
Who's what? I think he's Zoilo Almonte's brother. That has to say something. Or Zoilo Almonte's cousin.
But you know what? Danny Vogelback starts every day.
Who was the other idiot they called up?
Rafael Ortega.
I know Ortega.
They called somebody else up today. I'm trying to find who.
It was missing
Almonte, and it was another guy.
Was it Arias? Because they recalled him.
It might have been Arias.
Well, it's the Mets are just. I know they're winning like 5-2 right now. That's because Alonso put 2 in the seats because that's the only way they can score really. But they're. I mean, am I happy they're losing? Yes. I'm rooting for losses. Like I'm not rooting for them to win games and win meetings. Like there's no point. What the point is to do the rest of the season, reevaluate and evaluate who can play for you next year. And if Beatty can't play, then we got to figure out third base. If some of
Trade
these
'em
guys
away,
can't play, get them out. Figure it out now. This is the whole time. You have all this time to do. There's no winning. There's no pressure. Okay? You could suck. You could lose 13-0 every night. Just figure out who can play and who can't.
You see nothing at all, and Buck will still be proud.
Some of the comments he's made is just, being proud of minuscule. I mean, I couldn't be proud of it. At least the owner has the balls to say, number one, they're not a playoff team, and he realized, and thank God he put his ego aside and decided to sell.
Unlike
Number two,
Steinbrenner.
right. Number two, at least he said he's disappointed in the season, and the fans should be too. So he's not attacking the fans. That's what I can appreciate about the owner. He doesn't live in a dream fantasy land here, okay? But I know. I see the comment that Crossface Ray, Frank the Tank has a meltdown. But what do you expect? They're terrible. They're going to be having half of a AAA lineup out there. I mean, and I know they haven't called up Mauricio. It might be for the service time, but if they don't call him up, I don't know what we're doing with him.
Helicopter?
I don't
Where?
know.
No. I'm asking if you're gonna send a helicopter to Epler.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
You know what's funny, Luca? And the chat doesn't even know this either. Me and John on Saturday were standing in line at Jersey Mike's in Long Beach, aka People That's Long Island. Some dude walks in. I said, John, that looks a lot like Billy Epler.
We saw Billy Epler look like, and you know what? If you guys want to talk more about the Brett Beatty, we can.
Maybe that's where he goes to scout all of your bums, like Danny Mendick. Maybe he
Oh
looked
yeah. I forgot another Einstein, Danny Mendick. But I mean, what else is there to talk about the Mets?
Jacob asked John, has your opinion on Billy Epler changed since the deadline?
No,
No.
it is not.
He's gotten prospects, but again, he can't avoid the disaster that he created.
No, he put himself in this mess. It's like, starting a fire and then trying to put it out and then taking the credit that you put out the fire. No, that you started the fire.
And another thing is, I'm sorry, go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
It's like when Ryan started the fire in The Office. That's but much bigger than a toaster fire.
Right. And another thing I was reading up on, Brandon Tierney, who I am not fond of, says he said two things this morning or this afternoon because he has a show with the moron Salicata.
I'll be honest. The only time I ever find out about what these guys say is when you tell me, because I don't listen to them.
No, I don't listen to them
I don't
either.
look at
But the
their
thing,
Twitters.
it comes up in my feed even though I don't follow them, which is interesting.
Mhm.
So first thing he said was that the Mets need a hard-ass manager, and that's not Buck Showalter.
I agree.
Thank you, Brandon, for realizing months too late. Which
Stating the obvious.
yeah, he's stating the obvious. He's doing that, and he was also saying that the long-term move for the Mets is to trade Alonso for prospects.
That depends how good they are next year. I
When
want
is
them
Alonso a free agent?
next year.
That's the thing, because you don't want to do one of them sign and trades like Odell, but just my opinion. Just my opinion. And also, what was that thing real quickly, John? Lucas sent in the chat earlier. Apparently the Mets collapse is like the Nets collapse.
I was trying to figure that one out. I don't understand. Some people are just confusing, and
They have the right to be wrong.
They do. I was just about, you took the words right out of my mouth. Jeffrey, good night, my man. Hope everything is well with you. But yet again, I mean, there's really not much to add with the Mets anymore. This season is done, as we know, and I'd like to be done with it. Unfortunately, I am seeing them twice this week at Citi Field because of previous tickets I bought. And these two are going with me
Tomorrow.
So, no, yeah, tomorrow. But again, this Beatty demotion caused a little noise.
Nonsense.
I mean, we're just a dump.
Jacob says, John, not sure you listened to WFN this morning. He probably didn't, but Boomer thinks they signed Verlander and Max to, at worst, flip them for prospects. I think it was just going all in, but not the right,
That's
idea.
a weird strategy. But
I mean, well, that's the best we can do for Max. He stunk.
Well, I mean, yeah, his name starts with a D, and a lot of people did that for clickbait reasons, of course, but his name is Donovan Jeter. He's a defensive tackle. Headlines for today's game: Yankees season desist. See what I did there? Yep. Is it trigonometry? Because I can't understand that either.
It's a good one. I don't know.
What about Mauricio? Well, didn't he just sound off in the organization?
Yeah, a little. He's unhappy, but I believe it's more service time than anything. So I'm waiting until after August 20th. And if they don't promote him, I don't know what we're doing. I mean, again, Danny Vogelback gets to hit DH every day.
I don't listen to them, but here's what they said. That's a good. I like that. Have a great night, everyone. Bring back Dominic the Donkey. I mean, I was just surprised they got the 9th best prospect in the Angels system.
Yeah, that was a great trade. That was an A+ trade. You trade away a bum for a 9th best prospect? My God.
I could see that. Yeah, Boomer, I think he does like to hear himself on occasion. And then
he's
what
smart,
is up
though, especially when it comes to football. He's
and then what's up to Armand? Armand, how was Metallica last night?
Oh, I want to hear about that. Metallica's way better than the Mets.
Well, I mean, they both have
and the Yankees.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. If I was given the option of going to see Metallica or going to see the Yankees, you know what option I would pick. So,
Metallica. Well,
yeah, of course. I mean, it was amazing. Well, good to hear that.
Well, good to hear, my man. Is there any more talk about the Feebles or about your Yankees?
Maybe
what's there to get into besides road? I think we're finished with the Mets.
I'm sorry. Marte hurt again.
A groin strain.
It's dating back to last year. This man can't stop getting hurt.
He's a walking hospital.
No, he is. We might need him on life support because, I mean, when he's right, he's a great player. And I know the stats have been bad this year, but you have to figure it is because he's injured a lot. But, I mean, his defense has been horrible this year. His at-bats have been hard. I mean, guys, you talk about no plate discipline. I mean, you should see it's some of the stuff he swings at.
I remember the game against the Brewers. He swung at everything.
Not only that, but he swings at pitches now that aren't even close. It's Javi Baez bad. That's the territory we're coming into. Before I even go on, Coach Ed, what's up, my guy?
Coach Ed, what's up?
Always appreciate to see you. But, I mean, just utter nonsense. I mean, they mishandled that so badly. I mean, and I know the Yankees have handled some injuries poorly. All right, we can talk about that. Poorly might be an understatement. But, again, that was just a debacle in its own. They have not been able to handle injuries well, the Mets. I mean, we told him out to sit the World Classic, but, apparently he didn't look healthy this whole season. So what does that tell you? And then one little last thing. The James McCann comments as they face Baltimore. And I know I don't want to really talk about him because he's irrelevant. I get it. He's a nobody. He's terrible for us. Terrible. But basically, anyone who didn't see, as the Mets got killed when they got killed by Baltimore, he basically came out and said he didn't feel appreciated and he feel like he was used incorrectly. Well, Mr. McCann, what? How would you like to be used? You were useless offensively. You had nagging injury after nagging injury. Okay, you were pretty much a pine cone back there. Okay, you want to take credit for the pitchers that pitched very well. You could sing Kumbaya, fine. You're on a playoff team, but I hope you know we're paying you to play against us and every other team because you can't hit. You can't stay healthy. So I don't know what you're even complaining about. So, again, and it just doesn't make any sense. Let him go into Baltimore, okay? Let him do his thing. He's irrelevant anyway. He's not even. I mean, he's a backup to a kid. I know it's Adley Rutschman, who's fantastic, but why are you talking? Shut your mouth. You're useless.
Can I just mention something? The
Mhm.
Yankees had first and second, and then they grounded out.
Oh.
I want to get to a few comments. Nobody who smacked y'all.
He's
Wait, are you
talking about McCann. I
Oh,
think.
McCann, I mean, I know he hit against, but he's been terrible. Look at his stats. He's been terrible this year. It makes no sense if you're a professional athlete and you're shooting your mouth. And I understand Baltimore's winning. I know they're a fantastic young team. They got
what they
but
did to that
McCann-
broadcaster is just.
That's a different story, which maybe we'll get into.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, McCann's not contributing. He's not a contributor on that team. You think that he's getting more time than Adley Rutschman? No. Maybe he's helping with his leadership, but that's about it. He's a backup. You stink. You sucked here. Sayonara.
Yeah. Telling you, Diaz, Jacob, come on, my guy. I
think Alex
I'm not
believes
gonna-
you in terms of how bad the umpiring is, but
listen. I get it. I guess this is going to be really poor coming out on my side, but we were all baseball players at one point, and we've had to deal with bullshit calls. I'm not saying it's harder in the majors or it's not harder, but even Pete's saying it. I disagree. This team sucks. Sorry, I'm not a good marketer. I don't listen. Obviously, everyone could have their opinions, but like DJ LeMahieu has been DJ LeGround out for the first how many 100 games this season? That's just my opinion. Like we've seen this. I'm pretty sure if John saw the same thing on his side, he'd probably say, no, this team just sucks and can't do anything.
I mean, I have no problem calling out an umpire, but I mean, I'm not going to say that's the sole reason the team lost.
Like they had, 3 walks and they couldn't do anything in the first or second inning. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you brought this to my attention the first part of the year, I'd be like, okay, maybe they're changing something or whatever the case may be. And even then you have to adjust. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of like the built-in excuses. I'm not saying like, Jacob, you're excusing the Yankees' bad play or whatever, but like seriously, this has been all year with the Yankees. It's no shock. Sorry, I'm not a good person. I'm not a person who's a good marketer. This team fucking sucks. I'm not gonna sit here. No, I'm not gonna sit here and come after the Astros series where they split. They should have fucking won and be like, oh, they're gonna go on a run. No, they fucking suck.
6 walks, by the way, by Cease. No runs for the Yankees. Not one in run. Let me give you the numbers for the runners in scoring position. I'm not watching the game right now, so I'm going to put up the box score. The Yankees are, with runners in scoring positions, 0 for 4 with 6 left on base.
And we're in the fucking third inning.
Listen, we get it. Umpiring sucks in MLB, but you got to work your way around the unit with the. You got to work.
I'm sorry, Luca. Let me go. You go ahead.
You got to work your way around the adversity.
And you know what? I'll say something else too. And I'm not gonna sit here and totally defend John and Luca, but like, when was the last time they had a roughing the passer call?
2021.
Like, they're not sitting here in the refs, right? I mean, there's many times where I think they might be stacked against us or something like that, but we have to grow some balls and move on. The Yankees haven't done that. If Aaron Boone wants to come out after the game and say the umpire was the reason we lost, then you deserve to be punted. Because we're not turning a corner. What is up, Daniel Barry Sports? Mets fans and Cowboy fans are the same. They all whine like bitches and have no balls. I did know a couple of Met Cowboy fans in my day.
I mean, I disagree with that. I mean, the Mets, I will be the exception for that. But I'll tell you this, Brad, the Yankee fans are just as bad,
The
if
Yankee
not worse.
The Yankee. I'm sorry, Brad, but I'm gonna I'm not playing middleman here, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that Yankees should replace Mets in that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the teams play, and Sunil could shoot at me all he wants with his Cowboys, right? But Yankees and Cowboys are the duo in that. I'm sorry.
They're almost very similar.
The game is an extension of yesterday's ineptitude. Yes, feeble. I used the Yankees and ineptitude in the same sentence. You could use it for the last 5 fucking years. I mean, it's what it is. What do Metallica and the Mets have in common? 72 seasons. It'll take 72 seasons to win their 3rd ring. It looks like it.
You see, you're right, Sunil, but you're wrong as well because you can't even look at your own team because they are utter garbage.
Marte has a groin strain. That's funny because Mets players and Mets fans have no balls. Interesting.
Yankees are garbage. I know the
Peace
Mets
out,
suck. Yankees
two
are
giant
garbage.
goofballs. As I said, what's up to Coach Ad? Metallica signed on to endorse Centrum Silver this week. It's a little. I'm not being a Mets fan. I'm just saying, look, there's a lot of Yankee fans out there who come in every season and we're going to win the fucking World Series. And it's all our year and stuff like that. And then they make excuses when we lose. It's just a fact. Now, I'm not saying Sunil is that type because unlike his Cowboys and some of their fans, he'll come out and say, this team sucks and the manager should be fired. You can use ineptus for 14 years on the Yankees? Yeah. No, John is John's feeble. He's not drunk. So, yeah. So let's see. Luca's right. 0 for 4, 6 left on base. What a New York baseball on both sides is a clown show. It's a complete circus.
Correct.
It is a complete circus, and this I think there was a stat out there. If you guys read it, it was like 6.3 million viewers for the Hall of Fame game. I want to bet, take this to the bank, maybe, that a lot of those people were Yankee fans and Met fans who were Jet fans and some Giant fans and maybe other fandom as well. They said, New York baseball sucks. I can't wait to turn on this game. Even though it means absolutely fucking nothing. That's my opinion. John could get drunk as Mott's apple juice disguised as Bud Light. I mean, I don't think he drinks apple juice. Or at least, I don't know. But, Luca, what else do we have down for the feeble Yankees?
Well, I wrote down that Carlos Rodon has been placed on the IL once again with a hamstring injury.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to. I did have a. What do you call it? What was I gonna say? We did have a comment from what's his face? Not Sunil. Armand. He said, "What was the real reason Davy Garcia got DFA'd? It was to make room for what? Loizaga?
Yes.
So.
I thought it was Canely. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
Canely is still active.
He's still on the roster. Mets have been up since '86. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, Garcia hasn't been much for the Yankees ever since 2020. So that's just the Yankees being feeble.
Well, I brought up Rodon obviously being on the IL, hamstring injury. How about Stanton running the bases? How hilarious was that?
What was it? I was at the beach and I showed John that. I'm like, John, look at this. John was half asleep, and I'm like, he's like, what is he doing? And I'm like, in no way am I surprised. And some people took to Twitter and said, David Ortiz, you shouldn't be talking about Stanton like that because he hits home runs. David Ortiz was slow. David Ortiz, I'm pretty sure accomplished a lot more.
He was also a designated hitter. The Yankees continue to put Stanton in right field.
And he was consistent, too. Like, David Ortiz was, at least in my memory that serves me today, was consistent more than,
this version of Giancarlo Stanton.
So, I'm gonna look that up. And I'm not trying to pony up David Ortiz, but I want to take a look at something. Let's see. Wow. Now, you could argue steroids or whatnot, but 38 home runs in his final season, a 315 batting average. So, yeah, no, sorry. Throw that excuse out the window. See a little Pedro, another prospect that the Yankees have destroyed. Yep. Peraza going to be on the list very much soon. Big Jackie needs a scooter to run the bases. Yeah, he needs a wheelchair, scooter, whatever you want to put in there. But hey.
I'll say one thing. I'm actually a little excited for the John Boy interview that's usually on Tuesdays because they put on Aaron Boone, and I have to say that is very entertaining.
Here's where I'm gonna interject. Now they did a good job last week. Apparently, though, they were laughing afterwards. Like after the interview, they were laughing about it, which means could it be all for show? That was now I don't know if that's true in a rumor via Twitter. Also, Mets Cubs isn't a rain delay, but if that is true, I'm just like, what do I know? What at this point, like
I don't think that they're arguing is for no way it's for show.
Luca, what do you think of this?
Mm-mm.
I think it is for show.
You think? Now hold on. Here's where I'm going to interject and disagree. Why would Aaron Boone put himself there every week if it's for show, right? Because remember, and I know this is going to sound a little out of the box. Remember, the Yankees have been struggling for a few years now with him and Cashman. Don't you think he's going to try and say, like, knowing if one of them gets canned, don't you think he's going to try and save his own butt first?
Well, I mean, yeah, he would. But, like, I'm still trying to identify the point.
Because Cashman doesn't go out and talk to the media.
No, we know that, yeah.
Rarely it happens. At least Boone is representing in some sort of capacity. And I honestly think I don't think he's going to sit. I don't think he would sit there every week, knowing that the questions are going to come. I understand he's got a good relationship with John Boy, but I don't think he wants to argue on those shows. That's my opinion. If he knew that every week, I don't think he would come on every week.
So here's now. Actually, Luca, I'll let you provide your thoughts before I interject with mine.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't? Okay. So I was hearing a couple of different conversations from a couple of different people, and someone said, the talking Yanks, and I'm not trying to diss like content creators and stuff like that, but also I don't like being necessarily gaslighted in some areas. And I know John Boy people. It's not necessarily hidden. But someone said, what was I going to say? The talking Yanks thing, and he was speaking on a truthful note, it's like it's supposed to be fun in games. It's not supposed to be hard up and, now they got to grill them and stuff like that. Well, here's the thing, though. You could have it all nicey nice. And obviously we do this show. I'm a part of NYY News TV. We do this all for fun. That's what it's supposed to be, right? But it's been a little while. It took them a long time, at least in my opinion, for them to start considerably asking questions. And here's my other issue, too, is that NYY News TV as a group, not just Pete, as a group, have been frying the Yankees for so many fucking years, and no one's given us credit, and no one gave Pete credit for and I know I'm going on a tangent here. No one gave Pete credit for what was actually gone out there, what Andy Martino and Lindsey Adler reported, being that Hal Steinbrenner was actually the reason the Yankees decided to buy 2 bum pitchers and Brian Cashman wanted to sell. That's Pete's source. That's no one else's source talking. So there's that. But what I'm saying, kind of going back to the point, is it took them a little while, and sometimes they would kind of refrain after asking a tough question, and Boone would snap.
Every time I see Boone snap, Jake gets scared.
So and listen, they have their opportunity. Fine. That's their thing. And what was I going to say? Great. Right. They got the interview. But if it is true that they asked them the tough questions and then they were joking around afterward, I'm sorry. I can't I'm not telling you to have to push like your relationship with Boone because you're asking the tough questions. But remember, Luca, these are the same people that pushed out and said, Aaron Boone's a nice guy, but he should not be the manager. Fuck the nice guy shit.
Ryan
Well,
Rucco
hold
also
up.
said that.
I'll concede if this doesn't happen. If the questions get more difficult and then the show gets more feistier, then you guys got to concede. But if it doesn't, then I'll concede.
We'll see how it goes. But
I'll concede.
as I said, there's a lot of people out there who again, like they're marketers
But-
and they're fake tough guys and all this stuff.
Right,
whatever.
right. Which I hope that's not the case. I don't know anyone on John Boy, so I'm not gonna discredit them. But I hope that's not the case, because not many other people do it.
Do what?
Go after coaches, on their own
Ask
show.
the tough questions.
There's okay. So I will
Not many.
interject.
Not many.
It's a good one because, and also people. Actually, no, I'm gonna skip that part. The B reporters don't ask the tough questions. I think we could all agree on that.
I
agree.
agree.
But the
For the most
people
part.
that do ask the tough that do want to ask the tough questions don't have a platform. That's the problem.
Well,
And
they
then
have
when
their
people-
own platform. I mean,
They
look
do
at
have
us.
their own platform, but sometimes they don't get enough recognition.
No, I understand that you're gonna have to, do a cost benefit thing there, but it's not. They still have their own platform. They might not get recognized, and that's okay. But I mean, I don't say my opinion for the recognition.
No, I know. But as I said, there's just something to keep an eye out for.
Armin says the Yankees have the power they can force to what John Boy asks Boone or pull him from it.
Because I can name a lot of different times that people in that section and all over Yankee Twitter ripped Yankee fans number one for the Miles Straw incident and said, and I'm not talking necessarily in terms of throwing beer, because I was at that game and, throwing beer is wrong and stuff like that, but like selling their fan base out because Miles Straw is a fucking idiot and they wanted views from Fuzzy. So that's number one. Number two, a lot of people said, like, there were some people, remember, Luca, before the lockout happened, people were saying, no, you guys are overreacting. The Yankees are going to make moves. Yeah, they traded for Josh Donaldson afterwards. So I'm just saying, I'm keeping my fucking receipts. And some people will come out of the woodworks and say, hey, the so-and-so and this is them. So-and-so is doing a nice job. Meanwhile, people who have been keeping up and have been in the world long enough saying, that's all show. And I'm not, and again, this is not, they do their job over there. We do ours.
Do they also talk about the Yankee Propaganda Network, or we call it the YPM?
No.
Does anybody talk about those narratives that they try to spread on TV?
The fan narratives, the ones that were the Yankee fans are the problem.
Let me ask you this. Did those people who we just mentioned, did they go after the beat reporters who tried to sell us last year that the fans were the problem? Did they try to go after Bob Clappish, who said that the money is the only thing that's holding up Judge from the Yankees? It's apparently how bad the fans are, which was not true. Did they go after Randy Martino for suggesting that the Yankees are too hard on their players when referencing Reggie Jackson, who is not well liked among certain Yankee fans for reasons? Josh Donaldson being soft. Did they go after Joel Sherman, who is constantly cucked Brian Cashman? Same with John Heyman. Did they go after them? No, I don't think so. And that's
They
what
should,
fans
though.
were pissed. That's what
I mean, they
I agree with you. That's what
should.
fans were pissed off about last year, and I'm still pissed off about it, unbelievably so. Because anybody who blames anybody else and not takes responsibility are failures, especially when you accept failure.
Good points all around. Luca, if you want to get to some of the comments.
The Yankees seem to be allergic to developing prospects. That's been pretty much the idea, yes, outside of probably Aaron Judge. Alexa worships Giraffe Neck Mark.
I do not. That guy's a complete fucking idiot.
Feeble worships Jean-Boy and Jake.
I don't worship them. I just like when I want them to ask tough questions. I like when they do it. I hope they go after them.
If it's not, again, going back to John's point, if it's not for show, I will say, okay, they did a good job.
Alexa and Luca got sacked by Pete only occasionally, show up his appearance occasionally.
Oh, listen, obviously Pete made a decision that we agreed upon, obviously not doing Twinville, but I mean, we go on game season, which is highly viewed. And listen, we're here too because gave us a lot more time to build this channel and whatnot. But any more feeble Yankee thoughts that I can think of?
Look at my notes. You had Boone talking about signs of progress. We don't need to talk about that. Alex, I'm going to ask you this, and there's some people who disagree with this, and I don't know why, because they want to be happy and they don't want to blame their team. Was the Astros series, the split, a positive or a negative? Or
It's a negative.
neither?
It's a negative. Anyone in the right fucking mind would say it's a negative.
I think
Again.
it'd be appropriate to sorry to cut you off, to put that wrong buzzer noise on the soundboard. I think that answers the question.
I mean, also shout out
I've
to
seen
Evan. I know
people-
I was going on a long rant. Evan, what's up?
Shout-outs, bro. And, like, I saw somebody's like, is it really that bad that the Yankees split with Houston? I'm like,
Yes, it is that bad.
you're 3
Especially
games
when you
out of a
consider
wild
tonight.
card. You're not out of the division. I mean, you are out of the division, but you're not 3 games back from the division. You're
That's
3
the
games
problem.
back from the wild
It's just
card.
like fans are so, and I could do this because I'm a fan. That's the difference in this thing, right? Michael K obviously loves to rip Yankee fans. That's my opinion. That's what I see. Is he can only talk about the Yankees the way he wants, and then if somebody calls up saying
he
this,
plays
this,
both
and
sides
this,
of the angle.
he plays both sides of the fence. He's not a Yankee fan. He's a Yankee mouthpiece, as far as I'm concerned. And he does a good job calling the games. But when he's on his show, he's a mouthpiece as far as I'm concerned. And will only go as far as they let him. Now, whether you want this or not, we could actually transition this into that Orioles conversation. But I want to finish up with my thoughts first. I'm a Yankee fan. I sit there. I pay the money for the tickets to go watch games, this, that, and the other thing. I've been to many games this season, last season. I think that's probably more combined than I have been in years past. So I can rip on Yankee fans. And any Yankee fan seeing last series as a win or as a positive, I would like to talk to you. I would like to schedule a Zoom meeting with you to find out what the fuck you've been smoking.
Explanation.
Because please, like, seriously, give me an explanation. And
It's like the Seth Meyers. I'm sorry, Alex. It's like the Seth Meyers gif. Expand on that.
Please expand on that. What way was it a positive? If it's a positive, that means they won the series. Aaron Boone yesterday, right? He decided to put Wandy in against a bunch of righties. What happened? The Yankees gave up 4 runs in 1 inning. They blew the lead twice. What was it? What was the other game they lost?
It was Friday night.
Friday. What did they do Friday? By the way,
They
Jacob,
lost-
if you did go, how was the game? I forgot to
That's true.
put that in.
They were on Apple TV, and I think who was it? Burrito was pitching. I think no, it wasn't Burrito.
Burrito pitched yesterday.
It was Clark Shit. It was Clark Shit.
Sevy pitched yesterday. Wait, Sevy pitched yesterday. No,
No.
I'm trying to think.
It was Alex. I'm telling you, it was Clark Shit who pitched on Friday.
No, I'm talking yesterday.
Oh, yesterday it was Rodon. He got hurt.
We're done.
And then when did Sevy pitch?
Sevy pitched. When did Sevy pitch? It wasn't Friday night. It wasn't. I'll double check if it was Thursday night. Saturday. I think it was Saturday actually against Verlander. I'll double check that for you. No, that was Nestor. My apologies. So it might have been the series prior.
Severino pitched on Friday.
Okay.
Pitched on Friday. I think Clark Schmidt actually pitched the opener Thursday.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for correcting me.
Just trying to figure it out
Because
here.
I remember Sevy got rocked.
Yeah, Sevy got rocked. 7 walks, 0 hits. That's just I'm sorry. You gotta fucking laugh at this point. The guy behind me was talking shit to McCormick the whole time, reminded me of Killer Joe. That's Joe at a baseball game. So much for the Yankees having the best rotation in baseball. Yeah. The best. They do. They have the best rotation in baseball on the IL. Like, seriously.
Listen, remember we were
Hey
debating
guys,
this year.
guys, hold on. Where's Frankie Montas? I fucking told people this season, do not expect anything from him. What happens? He gets hurt.
Remember when we were debating this year who had the best rotation, the Yankees, or the Mets, because of Scherzer and Verlander and Cole and Rodon? Remember that?
Let's see. That went to or you could put the wrong. Luca deserts us again. Sevy was Friday. Yeah. About the only positive here. You know what's sad though? I picked the Mets and the Yankees to win their respective divisions, and look how that's going.
Losers.
About the only positive here is that we didn't lose the series or get swept, but that only goes so far. It was bad, and that's making me look exactly like that's a fair point. That's a fair point, Sunil.
And in regards to your, I'm sorry, Alex. In regards to your strike or wrong answer, or what was you just mentioned about you wanted me to play that? So
yeah. By the way, we're 2 likes away from 10. Let's hit the like button. You know it's bad when Frankie is considered a positive. Yeah, I don't think
I said don't trade for him last year. I said do not trade for him last year.
Well, I know. But what do we know?
But the Yankees' godchild or love child and Anthony Volpe. Never mind that. Carry on.
I mean, yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting.
I thought we'd talk about the Orioles situation with Hunter Brown.
Yeah, I say we do Kevin Brown, and then I think we go to the Tim Anderson thing because I think that's funny.
Okay, so I thought I'd pull up the Kevin Brown excerpt where he was talking about the team. So that was obviously, and Gary Cohen of the Mets actually ranted about it on air. By the way,
he's a good announcer. Do we want to play the clip for anyone that doesn't know?
Well, yeah,
I was actually searching for that on Twitter, but I want to address Jack's comment. Aaron Boone after the Yankees get no hit but draw 10 walks. The approach was good tonight. You got a point, Jack.
Why do I think that's a very accurate statement, Jack. Good job.
Before I get to the Kevin, Booyah. What's up, Booyah? Before I get to the Kevin Brown comment, Gary Cohen actually said on the air, let me just say one thing to Baltimore Orioles management. You draped yourself in humiliation when you fired John Miller, and you're doing it again. And if you don't want Kevin Brown, there are 29 other teams that do.
I mean, he's not wrong. While Luca looks up the excerpt and stuff like that.
But what's the reason?
He didn't even say anything that negative. Like,
so their reasoning was that he was too negative?
Yeah, he essentially said, like, I think the Orioles have had like a good winning.
I listened to the whole thing, but I had to listen to it 5 times to figure out why. I was like waiting for something inappropriate or something bad, and I was like, huh? Like, I asked myself, is this the right clip? Like, of why this man was suspended.
All right, let's listen to the excerpt. Let me just make sure my sound is on. It is.
It's felt like this has been maybe the toughest ballpark to play in, but the Orioles have a chance to do something special today. They've already clinched at least a split in the series, winning 2 of the first 3, and they could pick up a series win behind Tyler Wells today. It's been a minute. The Orioles split a 2-gamer with the Rays in June. They had lost their last 15 series here at Tropicana Field. You have to go back to when our now colleague Brad Brock picked up the win in the series finale, June 25th, 2017, the last time the Orioles won a series here at St. Pete. Already got 3-2 at the Trop this year after winning 3 of 18 the previous 3 years combined. It is a stark difference, Ben, and it is not a bad Rays team. It's not like all of a sudden the Rays became slouches in the American League East.
What point of that was negative? What point of that was negative?
I'm like, I was trying to like pinpoint it, and I still couldn't. I'm like, what the hell did this guy say?
Exactly. What was the bad part?
And you know what I could say about the YPM is that they can say things negative. They won't go into the nitty gritty like I will or Luca will, but they will say things negative about the team. Will they make excuses? Yes, but that's still like odd.
it's kind of a positive what Kevin was saying, though. He was like saying, this team is better than years past. How is that bad, though, when it came to playing the Rays? Like, the graphics showed up like 3 wins, against the Rays in Tropicana Field over the last, 3 years or whatever. But still, it's like, it's proving how this team that obviously the first place team is better. I just don't understand why they had to suspend him. It makes no sense whatsoever. He didn't say anything awful about the team. He was talking, he was bringing up statistics and, good research on him, good research on the producers and whatnot. But I just don't understand why he was suspended at all. It makes no sense in my mind.
And even if he wasn't wrong for anything he said, like you said, there's researchers and producers that are the ones telling him to say this. So it's not like it's unplanned. Like, this was planned in their show. It makes zero sense. I feel bad for this man. He should not have been canned. I hope they either revoke it or he finds something else quickly. Because
I hope he gets an apology.
There's a big reaction too. It's like you said, Gary Cohen. There's a lot of
Chris
people.
Russo went off today on his show.
I saw Chris Russo. Yeah, and Chris Russo was basically like, John Angelos, what have you done in your lifetime? And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point, because I will acknowledge like the Orioles' success this year, but they've been tanking for the past 6-7 years. Like, you have no reason to do this.
I don't think James Dolan is as sensitive as he was before, in my opinion. I think he's laid off with that stuff.
Those feelings.
He was sensitive, but not as
crybabies. Shows comedy.
What a bunch of crybabies.
That's true.
When you get into the Tim Anderson expert, do bring the note that Michael B. Jordan of Creed fame looked at the footage of the fight and anointed Tim Anderson as his next opponent in Creed, the 4th. Yeah, that would have to be one of the first opponents in the movie, though. Who's a bigger pussy, Anderson? I would give it to Bautista. At least I think is a tough guy. Like, Anderson's just a whiny little bitch. And then that could be another crossover. It's like, personally, me, and I'm not going to bring it up because I know a lot of people like to cross this into politics. I was on Josh Donaldson's side last year.
Yeah.
Because they had a running joke beforehand. And then Anderson said, let's get all serious about this. And then everybody started turning and whatever. And then, Luca, what was that thing that Tim Anderson said to Yasmani Grandal?
Grandal wanted to this is actually going to go into our next segment. Yasmani Grandal essentially wanted to leave a day early for the All-Star break. I'm going to get some more. I'm going to get the exact quote here from there. And
I believe he said, Anderson said to Grandal that I'll pay for his ticket to leave.
And he said, fuck you. If you don't want to be here, I'll pay for your flight. And then Grandal walked over to Anderson and smacked him in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't want to admit that we are their daddy. Went over that one.
It's with Michael K. It's very, I don't know. I don't want to say hypocritical, but he's what he's not talking about. And I'm going to say this for 1 second. And I'll shut the hell up. He's not talking about how these fans are walking in with Brian Cashman signs and having their property stolen by fucking security and all because Brian Cashman's balls are fucking twisted.
I don't remember if I sent you the video, but someone did, or someone sent it to us, if I'm not mistaken.
Like, I don't know the legalities on that. If somebody wants to inform me, they can. But you see all these signs in Oakland. Sell the team. Fire John Fisher. Whatever. Are they being taken down? Can somebody help me? Are they being taken down?
They've been chanting "sell the team" for like months because of the relocation. And granted, they have if you compare them side by side, they have more of a reason. But
what's going to happen next? The Yankee fans are going to walk into the stadium with bags on their head. The security's going to take it off. Paranoia.
I would like to see them try.
Paranoia, wrong priorities. But anyways, this was Lance because Keenan Middleton also criticized the White Sox on his first. I think this was his first time meeting the media as a Yankee, and he said, there was no rules with the White Sox. Rookies slept in the bullpen, and here is Lance Lynn confirming those comments.
By the way, I would just like to say as well, Tim Anderson just struck out on strikes. So
Lynn is obviously a Dodger. at this very point. So here is Lance Lynn. I think he's talking. This is to AJ Przinsky on foul territory.
Mm-hmm.
Lance, did you see what Keenan Middleton said when he got traded?
I did see what popped up yesterday. Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on that, possibly?
I could say this. I can tell you what Key was wrong about.
Okay.
We're ready.
I get it. You don't get it.
I get it.
Lance, did you see what Keenan Middleton said?
Let me see if there's like an expanded kind of thing.
Anyone that doesn't know what that means, it means he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, he had the smile. He's like, yeah, he was really wrong.
Lance, did you see what Middleton said?
That was the same one.
I did see what popped up yesterday.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Say this. What Key was wrong about.
Yeah, he was traded from the White Sox. I don't think he said much of anything.
Yeah.
Try to find maybe a longer video.
If we find a quote or something like that, we'll find that. We just sound the bell
Well,
there.
that confirmed it right there. You got two players saying it. It sounds pretty true.
Jokes were flying on how Dominicans own Tim Anderson in terms of toughness. Josh Donaldson is not Dominican, still owns him. Here's the thing. I will. First of all, that whole, and this is not the. I have to organize my thoughts. So, first of all, this is not a surprise to me because they decided to hire a puppet in Pedro Grifol. I think that's that. Kind of like the Cardinals did, The Cardinals hired Oliver Marmol. Guess what? Both teams are at the bottom of their division. Both teams decided, they didn't really sell it. Well, I mean, they sold Jordan Hicks, but
they sold Flaherty. They
sold Flaherty. They didn't sell Goldschmidt and Arenado, but that's besides the point. Two Midwest teams, two analytical teams, two small market teams, and puppets. So factor all of that in. Now, my little opinion on this is if the Yankees did not have as much money as they were, allowed to spend in whatever the case is because of the economy, they would be in the same exact situation. My opinion. I know it's not about the Yankees, but this doesn't shock me one bit. And yes, they did have their issues with Tony La Russa because, he's an older manager and all these different things. And, a lot of people obviously went after Tony La Russa and they had that down year after their playoff year or whatever the hell the case was. But I just don't understand. So what this is, again, new age baseball. It's no surprise. Sox Arizona, what's up? What's up, my man?
What's up, man?
Neither team should be small market with deep pockets. Yeah, no, listen, there's a whole issue on that, but this is not a surprise to me. What was it? Luis Robert or Eloy Jimenez not running out a grounder a couple of weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, this is what you're going to get. And did Tim Anderson say that ticket stuff to the media?
What about ticket stuff?
I'm sorry?
The stuff about the vacation. Did he say that to the media or did he say that to Grandal's face?
I think he said it to somebody else in the clubhouse, and then Grandal wanted to smack him.
It already kind of tells you a little bit, and I'm not totally defending Yasmani Grandal. It already tells you a little bit that, what was I going to say? That if he wants to leave a day early for vacation, that he wants to get the hell out of there because that locker room is a complete shit show. So there's that. That's number one. Number two, Anderson, if he said it to somebody else, then he's a wuss. If he said it to the media, he shouldn't be ripping his own teammate. That's that. Tim Anderson, he's just a locker room cancer at this point. I don't see him as a winning player. I don't. I mean, Luca, John, you guys?
You're right on.
Yeah.
You're completely right on.
I agree.
So, almost 1.5K. Proud of you, Alex. Everyone that's a part of the channel. Thank you, Sox. If you guys haven't already, go sub up to Sox. Grandal and Anderson will be White Sox next year? No, they won't. I would like to see what team takes Anderson, honestly. It would be so funny if he goes to the Padres. It would fit in so much. It really would because of that type of team. Anderson got too big of an ego for his skill level. Yeah, I mean, he's hitting like 240 right now. So that's as far as that goes. Any final thoughts?
I think we covered the main baseball subjects.
Just nice right hook by Jose Ramirez.
Yes.
Yes. That's you got to fight for your right to party. So as John was making that connection, we were driving home from Long Island. So, but no, I always like J Ram, and I like him a little bit more now that he did that. Still a wuss. Still a wuss. All right, football. What do you think? We did all baseball stuff, right? We made all the connections,
baseball,
and stuff like that.
I think we're done on. We can agree we're all done on baseball.
Yes.
For the next 6 months.
6 years.
For the next 6 months, 6 years. Get socks on instead of Alexa. Oh, I mean, we know that, Brad. Breaking news: I suspended for excessively. Okay. I mean, you might have to invest in like an Amazon Statcast toilet or something.
Anywho,
moving along.
Hard Knocks is tomorrow, right? Because Armin says it.
Yes. Yes.
So I guess I don't know. I mean,
the Hard Knock.
Do we have HBO, Luca? Or do you not know?
I'm not too sure. But again, I think the episodes come out on like NFL films eventually.
Well, eventually, but
we'll find a way.
What topic should we dip into first?
Well,
we got the Giants and Jets, so we can pick one.
Well, yes, I asked you guys. I mean,
should we flip a coin?
Well, actually, better yet, let's talk about if you guys are going to have any takeaways for the Browns-Jets game, because you got more to talk about the Jets than you do the Giants necessarily. So you could go off the one game you played, and I'll obviously add to it because we called the game, and then we'll go into the previews for this week because you guys play Friday
the Panthers. Panthers on Saturday. But also, I have some film clips to look up when it comes to the Browns game, just in general, and and some training camp stuff. I think so. That'll be good.
DTR killing the Jets. He was one of the most impressive players. As I said, I like DTR coming out of college. Yeah. So.
But all right. So I guess we can start with our thoughts on the Thursday night game, Browns. Hall of Fame game.
And be sure to include me too, because I do have some thoughts.
Of course. So, John, what were your first thoughts of the game? Obviously, we lost, but again, it really doesn't matter. But what did you take away? What did you want to see? What were you impressed with? What were you not impressed with? What do you look forward to see? Obviously, through training camp and on, especially from that game.
Well, I mean, there was obviously some good, some bad, as most teams are going to say, and that's how it usually is for most of these preseason games anyway. But, I mean, we're just going to talk about the Jets more so, not DTR killing us in the later half. But nevertheless, we can start with Zach Wilson. He went like 3 of 5. He had a nice 3 of 5 for 65 yards. 57 of those yards was probably his best throw of the night on that, sideline throw to Malik Taylor.
Perfect timing. I should actually just pull that up for you.
Oh, okay. Well, we can
to help with the analysis.
Exactly.
I have it somewhere. Here you go. This is actually from the QB school. I think it's ran by Jordan Palmer, actually, who is one of Zach Wilson's. No, it's not Wilson's coaches. He used to be one of Sam Darnold's coaches. But this is the big throw to Malik Taylor down the sideline. Watch how the footwork is like somewhat kind of improved, actually. You're going to notice that it seems that he steps more into his front foot more.
Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful throw. I mean, and I love to see. I'm not going to, praise him yet. We're
not going to kumbaya yet.
Yeah, no kumbaya here. But like he looked fine. I mean, he wasn't a disaster performance from Wilson at all. I mean, again, it's not what you want. We know, but considering he's a number 2 overall pick and now he's a backup after 2 years. Again, Alex, it's not what you want. But anyway, He looked okay, and that's my takeaway on Zach Wilson. If you guys thought he did great or bad, you guys can disagree with me, but I thought he was fine.
Yeah,
Nothing crazy.
I just want to quickly. I just want to hear what the rest of. I think this is obviously still Jordan Palmer talking.
Use your head and shoulders to hold that middle field player and then snap over. Boom. And then drop it right down the line. Again, appreciate the drop here and the snap at the top.
I think the only critique on the throw is maybe a little bit more towards the sideline.
That's outstanding. Because oftentimes you'll say in the league, they'll say, hey, the wide receiver's got to beat the corner. You got to beat the safety. So you got to hold that safety, get the ball up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snap. Again, just check out his feet. This is one of those times I don't think you need to be lined up if you're going to do this technique. Now, do I love, the heel click coming together? Not really. But again, if you can catch this rhythm, if you're going to play with the Aaron Rodgers rhythm in your drop, you can get away with this, especially when you drop an app.
It looks pretty sound to me. Like I think he was focusing on the as Alex just left for some reason. He was overall focusing, I think, on the processing of Zach Wilson, how he was faking out one of the defenders. But yeah, Zach Wilson was good on that. John, Alex, I'll go to Alex. What were your thoughts on Zach Wilson as you departed for a second?
I thought he did all right. I would like to see him obviously more games because you do look at the stats. What was it, 57 yards that throw?
Yeah.
So basically,
65 total.
So that's 65 total. So I mean, 57 yards. That's about. Gotta do math here. 2 for 4, 8 yards. So, I know this is a bigger talking point, but there's two things that concern me about the Jets. First of all, it's the offense. I know obviously you guys didn't play your starters, but not scoring a point in the second half scares me. And the only touchdown you guys got was off a turnover. Kind of reminds me of the Giants back in 2017 when it was like the first 2 games and they could not score a touchdown regularly. But I'm not calling for the Jets fans to sit here and start panicking. No. What I do suggest, in my opinion, is I think now I'm not being sarcastic with this, I promise you guys. I think the Jets should go out and sign Carson Wentz. I do think they just waived Strebler today. In a win-now type season, you cannot be focusing on what Zach Wilson will look like behind Rodgers and take your chances there. I think Wentz is a capable quarterback that can hold the job at least to an average level. But Zach Wilson, yeah, he did okay. Nothing too special other than that one throw. You have to obviously see it with more snaps and stuff like that. I want to know what the Jets' plan is in terms of backup quarterback. And I also think I don't think the offensive line did a great job run blocking. All those guys, they didn't really do Abanaconda would try to cut to the outside. They'd have defenders right in their face. So this is kind of pulls to my point. I think the Jets will be searching at the waiver wire for offensive linemen. Mekhi Becton getting hurt. I know obviously some people will want to pull the alarm right now.
Well, Becton's not hurt right now.
Okay. But still, whether we like it or not, he's that type of an injury-prone player. And whether he's going to be dependable as a starter or as a backup, it's going to be quite interesting to tell. So I still think the waiver wire is going to be a search. Mostly my problems from watching that game rely within the offensive depth in itself. I thought the defense did fine, my opinion.
John, the rest of your thoughts.
I know, Alex. Look, I agree with you completely. I'm all for your idea. I think it's a wonderful idea. We go get a backup quarterback, because I don't trust Wilson to have the number 2 job. I know they brought in Boyle, but he's
not
awful.
any good. I swear he's not.
I'm sorry. This is probably the last time I'll do this. The Yankees had bases loaded with 1 out. How many runs did they score?
0.
Luka? Next. 0.
Next. The answer is next.
Next.
But John, continue with the offensive line.
Right. And we and I agree with the tackle depth point because we really didn't get into a flow with running the football. Now again, these weren't our starters for the most part. We saw Tippmann in there. and you mentioned Becton, who only played 7
Max
snaps.
Mitchell's a concern, by the way. I know Luca was showing me some
Right.
film earlier.
Right. Which scares me a little because, you got to hope Dwayne Brown comes back, and then Becton can't stay healthy. Mitchell struggled. Turner is.
And it's not like Brown is a player he was 5 years ago. He's an average.
They got to
tackle
still check
best.
if he's mentally able to play the game. He is 38, and he's coming off a shoulder surgery.
Right. No,
So again, that's why I say the Jets will be searching at the waiver wire for backup tackle, backup guard options. Now, if the Giants cut Tyree Phillips, I think that'd be an option for the Jets, but that's a whole different set of circumstances.
we can use multiple tackles to bring us depth because, Turner has really struggled this camp.
You can't rely on Carter Warren. He's a 4th round pick.
Again, he's kind of like a Max Mitchell, although Mitchell is struggling in camp this year. And correct me if I'm wrong, he did play in that preseason game, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm going to show you right now, John.
Right,
And he
okay.
struggled. So this is credit to Jet X Factor, by the way. This is their website. And credit to them, they cut up all the film. This was Max Mitchell in the run game. First of all, let's look what it says about the pass game real quick. Pass protection, 13 offensive snaps, no pressures, over 6 pass blocking snaps, but his run blocking was pretty abysmal. We're going to zero in on this real quick. And credit Jet X Factor. They do a great job with the film. John, you're going to notice constantly, me and Alex noticed this when I was watching this earlier, he seems so off balanced. And Alex, you said earlier that this was, obviously this is pre-show, you said this was related to, you think that Keith Carter's trying to get him to a new scheme or a new move or something like that?
I think that maybe the blocking scheme has changed because if you guys are recognizing that he didn't have these problems last year.
He didn't.
No, he was fine.
I just there's a lot of different things that, if you want to play the clip, you can, and I could probably diagnose it. And I would, in my opinion, if you have a Twitter post of this or whatnot, I would send it over to Coach Ed because Coach Ed could also diagnose, see what the issues are. But
Billy Turner, let me just win it to a couple of comments. Billy Turner sucks. He does suck.
Did he play?
Wasn't, in this game, no, he wasn't. I don't think he was that bad on Saturday, but he didn't have a great day yesterday. O-line's a problem. Dwayne Brown's still hurt. He could be out 2 for weeks. Like, the thing is, we have depth at the tackle position. It's just that you don't want those guys to necessarily start. Right. Now, let me ask John a question. I'm going to throw you something out there. Some fans suggested on Twitter, and I think this is a low-key smart move. Would you go out? There's somebody who is not very happy with their contract right now on the Dallas Cowboys. That is Zach Martin, the right guard. Would you go out and trade for him and move AVT to tackle?
I don't know. To that, my opinion.
I don't know if I would trade for Zach Martin. I think he's been a fantastic player. That's unbiased opinion. I know I joke around with Sandil about the Cowboys, but I think he's been a fantastic player his career. But I'm in favor of moving AVT to tackle without Zach Martin.
Right. You could also sign Dalton Risner, who is a free agent, if he hasn't signed already.
They could, but Luke, I know we're gonna watch some film. But am I overreacting if I say let's cause for pause with the Jets' expectations because of their offensive line issues?
Expectations in terms of what, John?
The season.
That would. I'm gonna have to put a knife into that because you got Rodgers, and listen, Rodgers, as Luca has stated on multiple occasions, will make the offensive line better because he does get rid of the football.
No, I understand he makes the off. Believe me, I understand that.
But
it's not. It's not a good situation. This offensive line.
No,
I think Douglas has failed it.
No, that's absolutely where it is. That's absolutely where it is. But we can't. I don't know. It's not you, John, obviously. But if anyone was to sit here and say, walk it back because, the offensive line might not be good, then trading for Rodgers should not have been a thing, and you might as well have just drafted a quarterback and drafted some of your own guys. Why I say Zach Martin would be bad is because it doesn't fix your other tackle position. Zach Martin's an all-pro. Right. He can still play at an elite level. By the way, we are being completely transparent here.
Oh, Jesus. Take off that Bills thing immediately.
So, but it doesn't fix your other tackle position. And obviously, you're in the win now and all that stuff. Fine, you move AVT to left tackle. Who's playing right tackle? Max
No.
Mitchell's-
I didn't say that he would play right. I didn't say that AVT would play left tackle. I said he move him to right side. Then you would probably again. This is obviously you would throw either Dwayne Brown or Mekhi Becton. Again, it's not the most like pretty of scenarios, but it's something you can do.
I'm for it though. If this is the issue, like if I see in week 1 and 2, you know, whoever it is, whether it's Becton, Turner, Mitchell, or whoever it is struggling, like I'm for the move. You know, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe I'm just being that pessimistic fan, but I don't. I could already see this could be a problem.
It's just as long as like again, we could be this we could go into this 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, Dwayne Brown could return and everything could be fine, and this conversation wouldn't even be of worth anything. But again, it's just like we got to see how this progresses, but it's still an issue right now. It's probably my most concerning issue. So I just want to get a couple comments. Risner's a free agent with the Vikings. Another guy that I was talking about last week, I think, was Marcus Cannon's a free agent, the right tackle for the Patriots.
Played like 5 games last year, I think.
True, but I'd still take a look at him. I know there might be other guards out there. Eric Fisher, I think, is a free agent. Taylor Lewan, although he's hurt. But stop it. His contract situation will resolve itself, and Martin will go nowhere. Jerry Jones said we're moving on without Zach Martin. Not essentially saying they'll trade him, but we'll move to camp. We'll do camp without him. But anyways, let's look at Max Mitchell in the run game. Watch again. The main concern here is the balance and his too much reaching for blocks. Let's look at block number 1. Motion by Kuntz.
Yeah, it's like and it's supposed to be like a run right up the middle. Why is he reach? It seems like he's going to the right side rather than he's staying.
It's how
right rather than he's mirroring the defender. Like it's so easy for whoever the hell is on the edge right there. Just
like a
easy swim move.
I think it's a misdirection run play. Where they fake him going to the right side, but he goes left. Where this is essentially like the seal block to get him moving,
right? And then again, like I'll let you play it a little bit and then just slow up maybe mid rep.
Let me pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, pull it back a little bit, just mid rep. So like, it seems like he's going to the right side, like
right. Going too far right, you say?
Too far right because the defender could still slip inside on the misdirection. Like I know my technicality is not great in terms of terminology, but he's not mirroring. His hand placement's off because of the way he's playing the defensive end. So I want to say that's Lonnie Phelps on the edge. I can't say that's for sure, though.
I can't see the number, but
it's 91. But anyway, it's like even if you're not mirroring, stay on the defender's right, which is your left. That way you could maybe like wash him around on the misdirection. He still has no impact on the play. But he just totally dominates him.
You mean take him around the hash marks? Like take him around
washing him around.
Yeah, okay. Washing him around. Gotcha. This was rep number 1. So we'll go to rep number 2. Also, let me just mention that Zach deep ball. I think I'm going to pull it up after this. He got Mitchell. I should say Wilson was lucky because Mitchell got obliterated on that rep. He got absolutely bulldozed. But this is the run blocking plays. We'll get to that pass blocking play in about a minute. This is going to be the next one. Just waiting. Here's another one. This is Kenny Yeboah in motion. This is with the third. This is the third string team, and Mitchell's the starting right tackle. So this is concerning, even though he's been playing with the 1s, the 2s, the 3s. It's concerning a little bit.
He flat out missed.
It's like he's setting. The problem is he's setting too far right. Now I don't know what the blocking assignment is, but I'm gonna guess that's Lonnie Phelps. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's Lonnie Phelps is just like he's finding too many ways. I don't get it. It's like he's setting way too far right.
He didn't adjust to the swim move though, which is obviously a big part. He literally
I can't even say that's a strength issue though.
No, it's not. I don't think it's a strength issue.
He just got beat bad.
You got like a Twitter video of this by any chance?
I could send you the link to the article.
Okay.
All right. So, and here's another rep. This is 92 this time. We're gonna have this is a guy in motion.
I mean, that's a better rep. That's like a perfect. It's not perfect, but it's like a better rep than the two prior. Like he just doesn't finish it though. That's the problem. It's probably a resetting of the hands issue, but
so that was that in terms of his.
I think in that play, if he flips his hips a little bit more and turns the defender this way, which would be to the left, then you probably have more of a hole. But that's a better rep than the others concerned.
It has to be a hand placement thing too, because I mean, especially if you look on that second one, his hands are already out, but he's like, I don't know if he's like
he's
slipping,
lunging
I don't know.
and he's setting way too right. As I said, I don't get it. I have to think it's the way maybe he's adjusting to the new technique that they're teaching him. But
let me pull up the Zach Wilson throw. John's going to be a little astounded when it comes to Mitchell.
Jamarco Jones, I would not sign him. He's a bunch of fights with the Titans, so that would be a no. Eric Fisher, Joe Haig, who's an average starter. He's mostly a backup. Jawan James, who's probably mostly injury prone. Marcus Cannon, Jason Peters. But once again, I mean, I'm not saying this to rag on him, but Joe Douglas didn't necessarily do a good job with the tackle spots.
There are Jets fans who agree with you and agree with myself when it comes to that. We're not the only ones saying that. Right. I'm trying to find this throw, but keep talking.
Like I could literally, and it's not hating on Joe Douglas. It's just look, he didn't do a good job. Like I think he should have maybe traded up for one of those top tackles. You wouldn't have at least one of these issues. Then you could just say, okay, the right side is going to be, the right side's going to be the right side, whatever. But the left tackle position, I mean.
Watch this rep. Watch Mitchell get obliterated. I think this is 91 again.
Lonnie Phelps, I want to say. Any chance you?
I couldn't.
It's very choppy.
Yeah.
So do you want to send me that tweet and I'll get the video up?
I'll actually see if I can find another one that will sample that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to hurry up as fast as possible, but I know you didn't really see. All right.
Yeah, because you could send me the tweet and I'll take the video extract out of it and it'll probably be clearer.
So I got a better video. This is every throw from Zach. Obviously, we're not focusing on Zach, so I'm going to pull it up to when he made that deep ball throw. All right, this is it. All right.
I think you might have. Yep.
All right, just going to back it up a little bit. I'd say behind technically the right tackle. Well, by the right tackle here is Max Mitchell lined up. I think this is Zach Kuntz. I'm just going to mute this real quick.
Nope.
Yep. Let's watch that again. Pull it back. I know it's not the full, it's obviously clipped.
He looked very off balance there. If you take a look,
his feet are way close to, or his feet are too close together.
It's funny. He starts out wide apart and then he moves them closer. Look how he stands. That's fine. That's fine. And then look at his feet once he gets to the defender.
It's like as he tries to power. The problem is his feet are way too. At least in that specific part, feet are too close together. I don't know why he's trying to do everything he's doing there to power down. You don't need to do that because I guess Lonnie Phelps started out trying to act like he was going around the edge, and then he wanted to turn inside, which Mitchell obviously saw. And that's good that he recognized that, but he didn't do it physically. He didn't power down. So, and I also thought that was a strength issue because if you let because the only reason he's on the ground is, number one, he's unbalanced. Number two is he let the defender get in his chest. And if you don't reload your hands and fight off the defender's hands, that's what's going to happen.
So, moving off of Max Mitchell, I thought we would First of all, I think we'll get to some Zach throws from camp, which were caught obviously by other people. This was from the one day I went. But John, continue, please.
I did want to have the other thoughts I had from the game. Some of the more
Okay.
major thoughts.
Okay.
From the defensive side, here's what really now, as Alex said, I thought they played like sound defensively until it was like the third stringers and practice squad players. Fine, I can live with that. Here's what really confused me: the usage of Bryce Huff.
Mhm.
And again, we've been raving about him. Despite the small sample size, he's one of the best pass rushers. He might be in the league just because of his pressure rate. In terms of players, you look at the next gen stats, the advanced analytics. But
I'll give you some. I'm sorry to interrupt, John, but I'll give you some advanced analytics right now.
Mhm.
This is by Seth Walder. A player needs at least 170 pass rushes with a line or a loss at edge to qualify for the PRWR leaderboard at the position. Pass rush win rate. That's what it is. Here are the non-qualifying leaders, those between 80 and 169 edge snaps with a win or loss in pass rush win rate in 2022. You're talking, what's the word I'm looking for? Situational pass rushers. Leading the way in edge pass rush win rate in those small reps is Bryce Huff, 30.7%.
Yeah, no, like that's fantastic. Like you couldn't ask much more. And you look at the room that they have on the edge with Lawson, John Franklin Myers, although he could play both, Jermaine Johnson, Michael Clemens, who could probably play both and get away with that. Plus, you add a first-round pick and Will McDonald. You got a bunch of guys there. Is Huff the odd man out? And
I seriously hope not.
I hope
I'll take him. I'll take him. Edge 3.
No, I hope he's not out. And he had a sack.
He did. He had a sack
in the preseason game. That was I don't know if you have the film on that, but that was a very good.
I'll pull it up.
I was very happy to see him make an impact play, and I'm pretty sure it was early too. It might have been the first series or second.
Was it the?
It had to be it had to be the first series in A. B. It was on third down. That's where he's most impactful.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of those sacks last year in those pressures. So we're gonna see it right here. Here we go. This is third down. Number 47 is lined up on the outside against the right tackle.
This is some good from the
I'm sorry,
Jets.
he's actually on the left side.
Yeah,
Jermaine Johnson is opposite him.
Mhm.
Clemens inside. I don't know who's on the. I think this is Tanzel Smart.
And then he's
Left
going
side.
up against James Hudson, who gets an early step.
Yeah.
Let's watch the action. It's how he takes on not only the left tackle but the left guard as well.
Originally, he's wrapped up, but he doesn't give up on play. He keeps moving his legs, and
James Hudson set way too far to the left.
And he takes it. He's a smart player too. He took advantage of that. Good job from Huff there. But it begs to make the question: like,
Here's the replay. Let me see if you guys could see.
this is
Here's
better
like
angle.
the little slow mo. You get to see everything here.
Hudson set way too far left.
That was smart though, because he kind of got the defender to bite. So and the
One more
blocker to
time.
bite.
Yeah, he got the running back to bite, and then he took him down.
Yeah. That was smart. That was very smart.
I want to interject on something that we could go back on Bryce Huff. Is like I don't get how the Jets couldn't figure out a screen.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that in a sec, Alex. But is Huff become trade bait?
I hope not.
I hope not either. But like it's kind of looking like that. Like they're not getting rid of Lawson, Jermaine Johnson. No way. They're not going to. Obviously, they just drafted McDonald. I mean, I don't think they're going to.
Michael Clemens can
maybe
play
he's
both in and out.
It would be a waste to have him as a healthy scratch every game.
Right. I don't want him as a scratch. I like him. I love him. I've been on the Bryce Huff train since you can ask Luca before last year.
He was really he actually played under Gase. He was on 2020. He made the team he made the team as an undrafted free agent out of Memphis, and he was still impactful. It's not like he's this big.
He was
guy.
he was impactful with a garbage coach. Not saying Salas is a great coach, but we know how garbage that knucklehead Gase was. But I think Huff's got a high motor. I think he's a smart football player, and I think he's very impactful on third down. And you need your pass rushers to be very impactful on third down, especially to get off the field.
And the big concern with him is that he's not a great run defender because how small he is. But you don't have to exactly put him in for run defense. You have you could throw Michael Clemens inside, JFM on the outside, have Lawson on the left side as well.
They have the run defenders. They don't need it. They don't need him.
Too.
They don't need him to be a run defender. They need to get the quarterback, and that's what he can do. That's his strength.
Especially on third down. And the reason we're bringing this up is, Jets fans have talked about this on Twitter, which is a good subject, good talking point. Robert Saleh, I think I heard him yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday because they didn't have practice today. He's like, they asked about Bryce Huff. I think it was Brian Costello of the New York Post. And he's like, Bryce Huff, who played a lot of snaps for you last year, or at least a decent amount, was in the fourth quarter Thursday night. What do you got to say about that, Coach? And he's like, well, if they're not he talked about Bryce Huff and all that, and then he went into to say this, which kind of caught my eye and caught my ear. If they're not going to make this team, they're going to make a 53-man roster elsewhere, which I find concerning because, listen, I've seen people on Twitter talk about, should the Jets trade Bryce Huff for a tackle? Like, is that possible, though?
Well, listen, we'll give you Tyree Phillips for Bryce Huff.
No.
Well, what do you mean now?
He has to start, though. He has to start the tackle because Bryce Huff is like, he's not going to start in every down.
3 games last year.
But was he any good? Was he capable of holding down the fort?
He was solid.
Again, I just don't trade Bryce Huff. If anybody you should be cutting, it's Solomon Thomas. He stinks.
I'm in agreement with you, Luca. I don't want Huff gone. And Alex, going back to defense, the player who I just wanted to mention the Huff thing, especially because of the solid comments, but the player that stuck out most to me on defense, and I think his stock went up, Jamin Sherwood.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guy.
I'm pointing to a different player, but I'll let you go.
I thought he was all over the field. I mean, there's a couple guys you could have pointed out, but
Chaz Surratt.
I like the game he had. Maybe he can be a backup for us, especially with the linebacker spots more open other than Mosley and Quincy Williams. But Jamin Sherwood was all over the field. I thought it was – I looked at the film again, actually. I love the play he made for the on the fumble when he knocked it out of Schwartz's hands. And that was a fantastic play. Wasn't missing tackles, very clean with that. So, I mean, watching the film, it makes me more comfortable with the linebacker spot than it did a week ago. Now, again, we got a few preseason games left. So I do want to see more. And once more of the starters get more reps.
Right.
I want to see how they all play together. Luca did want to ask, Jets joint practice.
Yes.
Is there a day for it or
16th and the 17th of August?
Against who again? Remind me.
The Bucks, Brian's team.
That's right. You're right on that. The Bucks, because we had this conversation. Okay, I just needed to clarify.
Sure.
But I thought Sherwood was the best defender on the field that night. So, I mean, you guys can disagree on that, but thought he played fantastic.
No, I thought he played well. I think he was all over the field. Obviously, it's very key. The Jets also, we should also mention we're talking about linebackers. They signed 2 more linebackers. They signed Nick Vigil because they released Hamza Nasruddin, and it wasn't Surratt, it was Malik Hall. And they also signed Sam I don't know how to pronounce it.
I tried. I don't know if it's even worth it.
Sam McGuavin is the depth pieces. Obviously, I think Vigil has been more of a starter than McGuavin. They also signed a guy out of the XFL, the defensive player of the year in the XFL. He's going to be some people say he's like a third down pass rusher or a special team specialist, whatever. But gives you hope about the linebacker position. So I thought we'd get to a positive offensive line, John. And that would be Mr. Joe Tipman. I could find his film, because I thought he was flawless on Thursday.
Yeah, he especially in pass protection, he was fine. I thought he was better in pass protection than run blocking, but I thought that more for the overall group as opposed to just mostly individual, because I thought we did much better in the passing game than the running game, in my opinion.
So much for the concern that everybody was saying, Tittman's not going to start this year. Well, I don't know about that. Let me also know, people. I saw Tittman was working with the twos. No, I don't think it was when I was there. It was the day after on Sunday. He was working with the twos at Schweitzer at guard. And Schweitzer's trying out for the center position. So it looks like Tittman's, maybe rising up the depth chart. We hope. So let's watch some Joe Tittman highlights.
That's good.
That's rep 1. Creates a hole, even though it's small.
Again, some of these plays are just good on him, but bad on others.
Yeah.
So, little hard to see the productivity, but he is doing the right things. Like that. That's a nice block there.
This is the touchdown.
Flips
Now,
his hips
he
really
leaves
well
his
there.
shoulder open a little bit. You were saying,
Yeah,
Alex?
that I didn't like.
I was saying on that particular play, I like how he flipped his hips. The shoulder part, that's a good point, but I do like how he turned the defender.
Pass pro again.
Look at that. All day for Wilson. He just fell here. But all day. Again, you see Wilson has the ability to step up because Tittman clears his man.
Very good game.
I like his usage of his legs a lot, especially in pass protection. I don't know if you guys noticed, but
I do. He's always moving.
Yeah. Then that's what you need to do, especially if you're a center or, any offensive lineman. But he, if he wraps a guy up, he knows, like, hey, I got to use the rest of my strength here. So
0 pressures allowed on Thursday night, 21 pass blocking snaps. The only flaw that I actually saw via the film was the snaps themselves. They could have been better. There was like 2, 3, maybe 4 snaps that were side snaps. They were like okay snaps, but could have been better.
But he can clean that. That's stuff that's at least clean. Like, and I guess anything is cleanable, but like that's not like
it's not a major worry.
It's not like I'm not going to say the name, Luca, because you know the name.
Spencer Long.
Oh my God, I didn't want you to say the name because I didn't want to bring it up, but it's not that. It's not. We've seen worse.
Of course we have. So I'm just going to remove some tweets from my bookmarks, and we'll get to the next portion, which was Izzy Abinaconda. At the very moment, I'm just going to try to find his snaps. He tried his best with the blocking.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the blocking wasn't great. Joe Tittman had his moments, as we just saw. Max Mitchell wasn't so great. So we are going to share some film regarding Mr. Izzy Abinaconda, who went to Lincoln High School, by the way. Let's see some of his runs.
Number 2 overall pick from 22.
I think this was one of the reps where Mitchell screwed up, and that prevented Izzy from going for a long run.
I'll admit, it's a little hard to judge a running back if the run blocking is poor. I will admit that. So I'm not going to say any mistakes. Like, I'm not going to say it's entirely his fault because sometimes he just got blown up.
This was the first play where we talked about where Mitchell got blown up.
Yeah. Like, he made the right read there.
Yeah.
But there was really nothing. If he beat that man that pretty much, I'm not unblocked, but was blocked correctly, he might have been loose.
Yeah, he would have went for a good couple of yards.
Yeah. Again, like, he got hit as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, Jesus. It really happens almost every time I do these. Let's try to... Now it's buffering. Beautiful.
Where's the part where I blame Luca for this?
Blame X. Blame X. All right,
Here's the Jeopardy theme song where we need it.
All right, we already saw this. That's another poor Mitchell rep, by the way.
Someone got blown up.
Yeah.
That was Mitchell.
I couldn't tell who it was, but someone got. Jesus. Here's the touchdown. Oh. I thought that was really good on him, actually. The way, he didn't have the perfect block, but he still basically just outran everyone to the outside. So it does show that he does have the potential of breakaway speed. But
yeah. See a few more.
How many? What was his final stat line? Let me catch the.
Let me see. I think I have it.
I can take a look.
There, maybe he could have. I have the ESPN page up if you guys want. 9 carries, 27 yards, a touchdown. That's 3 yards per carry. I feel like on this rep he could have taken a better. I feel like there may have been a hole that he missed. I need to see the overhead view, but like where 42 comes in, obviously I wouldn't say stand there and look pretty, but I feel like that hole opens up. He could cut to the right. And that'd be a first down.
Yeah,
so I feel like this
possibly.
Whole thing right here, yeah.
You got to see when he comes in. You got to look at the overhead. You got to see when he comes in, though.
But no, it's not great. The Jets O-line. Not great.
So that's a little look at the running back room. It seems that, John, also this is per my observations at training camp. It seems that Zonovan Knight is getting more carries than Michael Carter. What do you think about that?
Well, it's something we brought up even before the game, the odd man out because, the Dalvin Cook rumors. And then over the weekend, we heard the Ezekiel Elliott rumors. It's a possibility. So, again, they're not going to carry 5 running backs. And we know Breece Hall is pretty much safe. It looks to be Abaconda is going to be safe because he is the rookie. And I can't imagine they're going to cut a 4th-round pick. So, although it's not unheard of, but I doubt they are. And if Bam's out dueling Carter and they do sign a veteran and they carry a fullback, I just don't think there's enough room. Someone would take him, but again, Carter's been disgruntled ever since that James Robinson trade.
Okay,
and his play has showed it too.
Yeah, I'm just going to go over some quick notes, and then we'll get to our 5 players who we're looking forward to see on Saturday. Some things I noticed in practice, players included in the special teams reps, kick returning and punt returning, Travis Dye, Randall Cobb, McCole Hardman, Alex Erickson, and Xavier Gibson. Obviously talked about Jermaine Johnson and Bryce Huff, Jamie Sherwood, and Chaz Surratt. We talked about the offensive line. It seems that Tyler Conklin still is one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets. Same with Corey Davis. He had a good day on Saturday. Jeremy Rucker continues to impress. He actually had a toe tap catch yesterday in first-team reps, and he also had a touchdown the day prior. So it looks like he said he's having the most fun he's had in a long time. So
and remember, Rucker didn't play at all in that
barely
game. I don't know if he got snapped.
I don't get
last year, but yes, he didn't play.
I don't get that, considering the fact that you have Conklin and Uzama who are going to be the number 1-2 tight ends. Wouldn't you want to make it like a fair battle though? Have Rucker play some snaps, Kuntz play some other snaps. I'm not saying Kuntz is an immediate make it for the roster, but I don't think
Kuntz is going to make the roster. If I'm being honest,
I say practice squad, but
he's being transparent.
This is the play. I believe Rucker is on. Let me just put this down a little bit. Rucker, I believe, starts on the right side. Or no. Yep, he's coming across the screen. Watch that.
I
again.
got. Can I take another look? I'm sorry. I was a little.
Ruckert is lined up right here.
Yeah, the pole got in the.
He's going to run across. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, good job getting open. Great. I'm happy to see him. Any success for him. I'm happy for him. It was kind of, again, Rucker didn't play. Tony Adams didn't play. I guess it kind of signifies that he's kind of getting a spot probably to start. And before we go into any other training camp, one other player I want to shout out, because I know you touched on Surratt on the defensive side.
Okay.
Will McDonald actually looked pretty solid out there. I like the spin move he had on one of the plays. You could see the speed, him getting around some of the offensive linemen for Cleveland. So, again, he probably needs to bulk up still and get a little bigger. But
the quarterback hit.
Yeah, he had a good quarterback hit too. I believe did he have a sack, if I'm not mistaken?
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm trying to remember who had Huff.
No, it was just Huff.
Huff. Okay. But no, like he was very noticeable, and I hope nothing but the best. I hope he keeps on improving.
So moving on to some more notes. Malik Taylor, I talked about, where I didn't even talk about. He worked his way up the depth chart. Actually replaced Garrett Wilson as the downfield receiver and reps with the ones. Obviously made the great catch in the Hall of Fame game. Jason Brownlee is also making the most of opportunities. John, your 5 players who you want to see or most excited to see on Saturday versus Carolina.
Okay. It's funny because you just mentioned 2 of the guys who actually, if I'm being honest with you, 2 of those guys I think are gonna, it's gonna be one or the other that gets that spot.
Okay.
Because I don't think they're both gonna make the roster. Because maybe one can make the practice squad because you obviously have Wilson, Lazard, Davis, Hartman's gonna get a spot, Cobb. So that's already 5 guys right there. So I don't know if they're gonna carry 7. Maybe they do if they play. If
I say 6.
But it's more realistically 6. I think I like that Hooker. I like how he is. I saw that he beat his man one-on-one on that 57-yard bomb. And that was just straight speed too. Like he just burned the corner on that play. With Brownlee, you saw 2 catches on like some quick routes, which is good to see a guy on the inside. So I'm really curious to see those guys. Especially if they play with Rodgers more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really curious to see who builds a better connection. Those are 2 guys that I'd be looking out for. Another guy I want to see, I hope he stays healthy instead of his 7 snaps from Kai Becton. I want to see what he can actually do if he's healthy. I'm tired of this. I gotta wait. Like if for some reason he gets banged up again, I'm gonna throw in the towel on him. And I don't have sorry, I don't have time to watch injured players.
Right.
Either you're healthy and you can play or you can't. So that's another guy I'm looking to see. Tony Adams is someone I want to see. I don't know. Have they announced how many reps everyone's getting yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet. I'm really curious to see. He's been flying all over camp. I want to see how good he is in coverage. I know safety spot was a big issue last week. And another guy you mentioned, I want to see who made that nice catch. I want to see Ruckert. Because maybe he is climbing the depth chart. Maybe he does take over for Uzama, and maybe that signing could have been a mistake. Or maybe Uzama's more of a blocking tight end. And you got 2 receiving tight ends with Conklin and Jeremy Ruckert. So
Ruckert can also block as well, but he does it better than Conklin.
Right. He can, but Ruckert's got some receiving ability too. So right. I still think Uzama is the best blocking tight end on the team that we have.
Yeah, that's fair.
But those are some of the guys I'm interested in seeing, and obviously I want to see more of the starters in the first team guys. Like, give them maybe a series.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy. If you want to sit a few starters, fine. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to play this weekend, but I doubt it.
Rodgers is not playing any time preseason.
Yeah, that was my point. He doesn't. It's not that he needs to. I'm just saying he wants to save his body.
Absolutely. To wrap up my part of the Jets segment, 5 players I'm excited to see. Jamie and Sherwood, let him keep thriving as the linebacker 3. Jason Brownlee, who John already mentioned, it's going to be up to him or Xavier Gibson or Irvin Charles to take that last receiver spot. Kai Becton had a good showing on Thursday night. Was limited with the snap count. Let's see him try to expand the snap count. We'll see what happens there. Joe Tippmann, hopefully he keeps working his way up the depth chart and makes it hard for Connor McGovern, and Will McDonald as an edge piece. Jermaine Johnson get at it as well. But, yeah.
By the way, I just want to add 2 quick things. Number 1, Aaron Boone has been ejected for the 500th time. SNY believes that he should win an Oscar, and I'm not even exaggerating this. SNY Video Yankees said that he should win an Oscar for the way that he impersonated Laz Diaz. So, let the fans goo gaga on that one.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get some agua.
All right. The other thing as well is shout outs to my man Ron Effect, who I've known for a few years now as a Giants content creator. He invaded Eagles camp again as a Giants fan. He's a closet Giants fan, so I appreciate him sticking up for the Giants fan base and doing all the good stuff. By the way, once again, we're 4 likes away from 15. Let's get there. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when live stream after drops. As far as Giants notes go, before we wrap up and do whatever, Marcus McKeithen and A'Shawn Robinson, both of them are back from the PUP list. A'Shawn Robinson is big. The Giants signed him as a run defense piece, and he's probably going to be D-line number 3 behind Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence. So that should be good enough.
Where does Nunez rank?
Probably 3rd or 4th. He's dealing right now with a groin injury. They're dealing that as a day-by-day type of thing. And what's also exciting as well is Marcus McKeithen is back. Marcus McKeithen tore his ACL last year at FanFest, and he was out the entire year. So now he's back, and I think that's going to push somebody out of a tackle guard role. McKeithen played a lot of right tackle and a lot of right guard and left guard last year in camp, but can also play center too. So that's going to push somebody out of a swing tackle, swing guard role. And another thing to bring up with that whole thing is Matt Parrott is now ahead of Tyree Phillips as Evan Neal is off to the side with a concussion. I don't think Evan Neal is going to be playing on Thursday, actually Friday, make that. But it's nice to see that Matt Parrott, he's in his last year of his contract. It was a 3rd-round pick out of UConn. Can play both sides. Not really that strong, but more of a speedier type tackle. Phillips is more strong. He's more of an interior type guy. But with that being said, as I usually like to say, it's interesting. Tyree Phillips has not had a great camp. He's with the 2s. And Matt Parrott is now with the 1s as the right tackle. Also, on an offensive line note, interior offensive line is not settled. There's 4 guys. There's 3 positions. Ben Bredesen looks to be right now the left guard. JMS and Bredesen are battling for the center spot, but I think JMS will win. You also got right guard, which is between Ben Bredesen and Mark Lewinsky. But also about going back to left guard, Josh Azudu is playing as well. Alongside Ben Bredesen, those 2 are swapping in and out. So it's not settled. And I'm going to be interested to see the first 2 weeks. I don't think any, or at least I'm going to say that Azudu and JMS will play on Friday. I don't think Bredesen and Glowinski will. They might. I could be wrong. It didn't sound like Brian Dable would probably play his starters. We also have to remind ourselves last year, when we played the Jets in the joint practice, our starters played, but they didn't play in the game. So
has JMS struggled in camp? Because you talked about strength as a concern.
Strength is a concern. He's been fine in the reps that he's been given. He's dominated other interior defenders. He just has a tough time against Dexter Lawrence because Dexter Lawrence is that overpowering.
Yeah.
But he's still he's still got good technique. Like he's still good with the anchor. His footwork's fine. So it's just there's maybe a little upper body issue, but it's also Dexter Lawrence is a top D lineman in this league. Sometimes, as much as I don't want to give excuses, you have to choke it up to that. But I think Azudu and JMS play on Friday in a second team offensive line. I think Tyrod Taylor might start. At least that's the way people are penciling it in. We have yet to see the unofficial depth chart is yet to be released. So I expect that maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. But Jalen Hyatt, he's been off the chains. The first few days of camp, a lot of Giant fans were very down on him. They didn't know how to feel. But if the Giants play their cards right and Jalen Hyatt does, I think he could possibly be an immediate impact deep threat at wide receiver, something like the Giants haven't seen. Someone compared him to Deshaun Jackson. I'm not going there yet, but I think that's his potential. Someone who takes the top off of the defense. He's got good hands thus far, hasn't really dropped too many passes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you think he's a replacement for Darius Slayton? Because they do the same thing almost.
Depends how high it plays. Slayton's on a 1-year contract, so you can, depending on how he progresses throughout the year, I think it's a possibility. I think Hyatt possibly has a little bit more of a skill set, but if Slayton does Slayton things and Hyatt is solid and the Giants feel comfortable, they will say, Slayton, it was nice while we had you, but Slayton's also a good outside receiver.
Right.
Let's not forget that. He's a solid outside body, and I think a lot of teams would push to have him. You think Josh...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You think Josh Azudu swing tackle? I think he's going to be a swing guard. He can play tackle. I don't think he's got the strength to play tackle. His footwork is off the chains in a good way, but I think he's a guard.
Also,
John, you were saying?
I was going to say I think it's more of an easier track for him to play because I think you have more. I'd say you have more depth at tackle than you do at guard in terms of quality. Not in terms of the bodies, but I think it'd be harder for him to make the roster. I think he might, and you like you said, he's better suited.
Well, Azudu's also a 3rd-round pick from last year, so in no way is he getting cut.
No.
But I think the Giants want him to be a starter. It's just when he's going to be ready, they'll slot him in.
Right.
But if Evan Neal, if for some reason goes down, I don't think he's going to be playing right tackle. Luca, you were saying something?
I also saw that I think it was Art Stapleton actually who tweeted this out. You know, there was some Giant fans, or just the general expectation for Giant fans is for Wan'Dale Robinson to return when the season begins. He thinks that he'll return earlier than the season, like soon.
Yeah, I mean, like I've watched several. I was at camp for a few days, as you know, I've mentioned and done videos on. Ashawn Robinson, obviously he's back. McKeithen, both of those guys were on the sideline when it was 11-on-11s and 7-on-7s. Wan'Dale Robinson was out there almost every single day on the sidelines. He was also doing some running as well. So if he's back before regular season, I think that's a big. Now, will he get all the reps in week 1 that maybe some would suppose? No, but that's a good thing because you have a lot of room and it pushes guys to really do better. I think Cole Beasley and Jamison Crowder, I've said that they're on the bubble. It pushes them to play harder. It pushes them to be versatile at different positions because, I mean, I know the slot receiver thing is something that's been stated a lot.
Crowder also returned punts, let me mention.
Right, and he's also been working with the team, the return team, along with Darius Slayton. But it's not like Darius Slayton's going to be returning. I think it's just a depth thing. Eric Gray will also be taking a majority of the returns. I did see that, Jacob. I did watch the ejection. I mean, if Aaron Boone didn't do that 700 times, I would say it's fine. But
Les Diaz is also a prick, so
and the Yankees are now losing 5-1. So make that as take that with whatever you will. It's not going to fire up the offense. And again, I'm not influencing people how to think. It's just my thoughts. I've seen it a lot with this team. So, and then also like the one thing as well, our cornerbacks outmatched. That's going to be one of the things I'm really looking forward to see tomorrow, Wednesday, and Friday is are our cornerbacks outmatched? Because the story has been mostly offense. Is it because the corners are bad or the offense is good? Adoree Jackson, he's been okay, hasn't been great. I want to see what that slot corner position looks like. And then Deonte Banks, he's gotten better over the last few days, but I would like to see him go against other receivers. Mm-hmm. So, and also Trey Hawkins, the late round pick out of ODU. I want to see what he looks like. So,
he's been like this is what I've read off the Giant Twitter and all their fan bases and what they say. He's been probably your most surprising or one of your best players in camp. You know, like they're talking about him like he might be a steal of the draft.
I would welcome that. Jacob, we're turning a corner. Luke, if you want to pull that up real quick, and then I'll resort to my Giants. We're turning a corner.
Hold on. Perfect timing.
Really close to turning.
Oh, too low. Hold on.
We're close to turning the corner.
Can I ask what's his like biggest strength, Hawkins?
He's a physical dude.
He's okay.
He's a physical dude.
He's like 6'6".
He's also, I think he's a tall. I want to say 6'1" or 6'5". One of those.
I'll look it up.
I thought he was big, but maybe I'm wrong. But
6'3".
Oh, 6'3".
So,
okay.
You're buying the rumors that Banks is going to be corner one. In terms of what? I don't think he's going to be corner one. Now, there's a lot of experimentation going on with Giants camp because of the way Hawkins has been playing, which is a good thing. They've been putting Adoree in the slot, which if we played the Lions in the regular season, that actually would work because Amon-Ra St. Brown is a slot. Not that he's a predominantly slot receiver, but he does get most of his urine there. And he also plays outside. So you could stick Adoree in the slot. You could put Cordell on the outside. You could put Hawkins on the outside. You could put Deontay Banks on the outside. You just have to bank on certain guys' development and exposure as the weeks go on. And the Giants haven't had this many solid corners, at least the way I see it, in a while. I would also possibly, I'm not going to bank on it, but I think Aaron Robinson will be coming back at some point. He's a guy a lot of Giant fans really like him. His physicality, his, stuff from the slot. A lot of people were down on him last year because he gave up some big receptions against the Bengals and also a touchdown against the Patriots. But I'm like, dude, just give him a chance. He's rolling in his second corner. He's a physical guy and he can play the slot. So as long as Hawkins is playing well, Banks works through his struggles, I don't see a problem for the Giants defense. I actually think it's in the edge room.
You guys think you guys think you're going to play more nickel at all, or?
Yeah, I could see that. Canley is the only one. And there's also this. But yeah, no, I think the Giants could go a lot of DBs if a lot of things work out. Because
that's like Patrick Graham. He loved DBs.
Right, but he didn't play soft zone. Well, actually,
right.
Martindale.
Graham did. Graham played soft zone. It wasn't Graham. Martindale's a man corner, man.
And also,
defense.
What really I have my eye on as well as the safety position, because you have Xavier McKinney. That's number one.
There's also Dane Belton.
Jason Pinnock, who looks to at least have won the majority of the snaps of the other safety position. You have Dane Belton. I want to see what that fourth safety looks like between. Now, you also have Javarius Owens, who I think at this point might also maybe not make the roster because he hasn't been too impactful. You have Bobby McCain, who's veteran corner, but also can play safety. No, Pinnock's not injured. Or are you talking about somebody else? Jason Pinnock is not hurt. Anyway, you have Bobby McCain, who can play slot. He's a good run defender, and he also play safety. And you also have Nick McLeod, who can play corner and safety. He can't really blame the run. He can't really play the run, excuse me. So there's a lot of options, and the Giants will be cutting good players. Now, with the slot position thing, I mentioned it a zillion times. If they cut Darnay Holmes, I think they should trade him, because I think there's going to be teams out there looking for a solid corner who can play zone. He's not fit for a man system, and that's my problem with him and my gripe, because he can't line up and press, and he commits penalties. But for any team looking for a zone corner in the slot, he fits the puzzle. And he's also a solid. He could probably play returner as well. So leading into that, 5 players I'm excited to see. And I'm also going to do a more in-depth preview tomorrow, starting at 2:45. So if you haven't already, mark your calendar. Haba Baldonado, who is an undrafted free agent, we did a film breakdown, if you guys remember, out of Pittsburgh when we were doing the draft prep. He plays the run well. He's been playing with the third team. I want to see what he looks like. I really do. Because I don't think he's gotten enough burn with the third team. JMS and Azudu. I want to see if Azudu's hand placement is better. I want to see what JMS looks like against some of these interior guys. Cordell Flott, I want to see what he does. I think one of those slot corners is going to play on Friday. Trey Hawkins, I want to see what he looks like. If the hype is real, or we're going to get sent back down to earth. And then Deontay Banks, I think he will play either way, how they mix the defense. I think you might have a situation where Flott's an outside corner, and you have Hawkins, and then maybe Holmes inside just to avoid playing Adoree. And then Eric Gray, I want to see how he does. I think he's probably going to be the first back that the Giants have in the preseason, with Saquon probably sitting, because I wouldn't play him in the preseason. He's also a solid return man. So, what's his face? Haba Baldonado is a UDFA, and I don't think they'll do starters because of the joint practice. You might see some different stuff against the Panthers and some different stuff against the Jets, but I don't think they'll play their starters this week. It's kind of a different story. They didn't play their starters against the Jets when they did joint practice, and in the preseason game, they had their starters in for 1 or 2 series against the Pats last year. So those are the 5 guys I'm looking forward to see in terms of Giants on Friday. And football's back. I mean, you guys already got your first dose. I get my first dose. The podcast returns tomorrow, and I got my first dose on Friday. So I really cannot wait. And I could slowly try to forget about this plush team. But
They're down to their final out, by the way. Just an update.
What was that, John? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I didn't say anything.
That's.
By the way, our new guy, Ashawn Robinson, he told Ryan Dunleavy he signed with you guys because you guys have a winning culture.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him.
He also says that the Giants, he says that his elite run stopping ability will help a Giants defense that was one of the worst last year.
I mean, speaking all facts, Giants run defense was absolutely terrible. But also, and especially when Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence got off the field, I also think they have X factor in the edge room, good and bad. But I'm not gonna zip my lips on that because that's actually going to be a video within the next 2 days. So be on the lookout for that. After watching the Yankees games, who needs to watch Oppenheimer? Am I right? You got a point. Great Stream Brothers. Yankees take years off my life. Yeah, they take years off my life, but I guess you have to learn to live with it. That's at least the way I sit back and laugh. Like sometimes,
Alex, you know what I'm going to say. Just get ready for it. It's not what you want.
Luca?
And yeah, it's not what you want. But you're asking me
supposed to play. Let's say play the sound.
I even set it up for that. Oh, come on.
All right, wait. You gotta wait.
I even set it up.
Tell me when.
Now.
It's not what you want.
It's not what
There
you
you
want.
go. There you go. Oh.
It's not what you want. The Yankees lost, didn't they?
John's gonna tell us.
We gotta blame the umpire. We're gonna blame the umpire.
The Yankees lose.
We gotta have a soundbite for that. We gotta write that down too.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can record me doing it.
Yeah. Or David Ortiz. But
That too.
yeah. Luca, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Can't wait to see a preseason action this weekend. Obviously, more football games. We'll be doing Thursday night game. with the Patriots and the Texans. Obviously, it'll be game season Wednesday, so catch us for that. Tomorrow, we'll be going with Feeble John to the Mets game, which should be a lot of fun, even though the Mets are feeble. Yeah, football's coming back, and we're all enjoying it.
Yeah, and I'll explain some of this stuff. John.
Again, another great podcast for Monday. I'm glad football is starting to make its more big impact with the storylines. Now every other NFL team is going to play a preseason game this week. Be a little more laid back Thursday, but we will be breaking down and giving our reaction to what we see, even though it's not our teams. We still want to put out some more football for you guys. And again, baseball, it's the same as it's been for the past month or 2 or 3 or years, but it's not looking good. But again, thank you for all the comments, questions. Oh, and it's not what you want. That's right. But don't forget, I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, anyone that's a member or wants to become a member, you guys get to see the rankings I put for the position. I'll probably do top 5 for each position in terms of where I think certain baseball players by position go. So if you guys want to check, it'll be in-depth and research, and you guys can check that out.
Yeah, so just to go over some stuff, tomorrow at 2:45 is the season premiere of the Big Blue in the Bronx podcast. It will be live at 2:45, and then we'll be getting into a preview. And 3:30, Jeremy Reisman, who's the Detroit Lions beat reporter, will join me, talk about the joint practice and all that sort of stuff. Wednesday, we're on game season, and there's also another roster bowl video out then. Thursday, we got the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots. We're going to do that game, and got some good stuff coming for you. Fridays, we're not streaming it, but the Giants are playing. Can't wait for that. Saturday will be a podcast episode, but more from there. So keep it up with the content. Keep it here with the content, as Luca says. I'll probably have a Giants video actually out on Wednesday detailing the edge position or an X factor on defense. So just keep in tune for that. But like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when the live stream pops through drops. Appreciate y'all coming.
Last thing before we go. Guys.
It's not what you want.
It's not what you want. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time. Peace.